Don't start, Eden.
He told me his name was Valiant Thor. He grabbed my hand. His hand was skin soft as a lady's or a baby's skin, but it was a grip of a man. And we spent 30 minutes, mostly me asking questions and he giving answers. And he claimed that he was from the inside of the planet that our Bible calls the morning and the evening star, the planet Venus. He said yes. All of this time, Mr. Thor was at the Pentagon for 3 years, mind you, and he was going and coming at will. He was brought to the President of the United States, Dwight Eisenhower, and Richard Nixon, offered to give them information on how the American people could successfully live without sickness, without poverty, without disease, and without death. They told him, "We're sorry that we cannot accept the information that you're freely giving us because it will ruin the economy of this nation." Well, sir, Commander Thor left on the morning of March 16th, 1960, on the outskirts of Alexandria, Virginia, where his spaceship came down. He went into the spaceship and disappeared from sight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Alien Addict. This is the show where we discuss all things UFOs and aliens to the paranormal and our pursuits into the mysteries or the unexplained. Welcome on in. So, Valiant Thor. This is an interesting one, isn't it? I have to admit, the word has been played through ufology for many years, and I never really got to the subject. But the whole week I've been researching, trying to dig as much information that I can, try to make it as entertaining as possible, and obviously having a very critical analysis on what I'm going to present to you today. So yeah, interesting one, I have to admit. Let's just go through chat because we've got a busy one today, absolutely busy. Hey, Barry White. Barry, was it you who suggested this? It may be Sadie. Not too sure, but let's go through chat quickly. John P. Yes. Monday, all good. Give me a time slot and I'll come to the show with you. So yes, for the people that don't know, me and John have been in contact. I'm going to pop into the show with him live and talking all things UFOs, aliens, paranormal, and yeah, just a general chat. Be awesome, man. Right, who else have we got? Hey, Sophia, I promise no Ross Coulthard today. Or I like to call is it Rosser the Tosser, something like that. I made a little nickname for him, but yes, promise no Ross for you today. But I hope you're doing well. And please check out Sophia. She's been doing her lovely, I would say, well, you can really call it time lapse. It's like an evening view of your garden where the sun is rising down. I guess that's called a sunset, Nick. Yes, it's called a sunset. Yeah, go check out Sophia. Sophia, put your YouTube channel in chat and get more subscribers because you're creeping up on mine, actually, believe it or not. Yeah, but welcome on in. Nice to see you. Hey, Benjamin Manning Music. Nice to see you. Welcome on in. I'm just going to run through chat quickly. Rotary. Well, what's up, brother? What's up? I ain't 420 that hard yet. Sammo, nice to see you, man. And we have Sadie. Nice to see you, Sadie. Paul Robinson. Cobalt Cat. Nice to see you. And obviously, John Strokes. I don't want to say Sheep Pop Pop. I got a bit of your footage later, Sheep Pop Pop. We're going to be showing. And Green Tea. Nice to see you. Welcome on in all across the pond. And where are you hidden? He's probably buggered off, isn't he? Yeah, me and Hidden going live Wednesday. Have no idea what we're going to be talking about. Chillster, nice to see you, man. Welcome on in. I think that's everyone else. Yep. I think we're all good. All good. Let's go back down to the bottom. I think we're all cool. Oh, and obviously, yes. Where are you two? And Woodward. You made it. You made it in time, brother. You're here. That's the main thing. And obviously, Space Cow. Nice to see you. Space Cow, did you send me an email? Because I'm not sure if I've got spammed or not, but there's some emails that people are not responding to. So I'm not too sure. Send me another one anyway, just in case. It's probably on my end, to be honest with you. So yeah, welcome in. And Bob Lazar. Yes, my rocket balloon hasn't turned up yet. I'm quite disappointed. I don't know how I'm going to get the thing actually floating. Anyway, you might be able to help with that one, man. So yes, but before we get into Thor himself, say Thor. I'm going to bring this up because on Saturday, right? If you're aware of Alien Addict, God, it's so hot in here. Hence, I'm in a vest. Do you know what my missus says to me? Says you kind of look like someone out of like Boyzone. I said, God, pick the one that looks at least gay. I got the vest on. It's terrible. But anyway, Saturday I went to Taunton, and me and my mate and my missus, we went to, is it Western Railway? And it's like basically a steam train ride to Taunton to Minehead, which is pretty much like the seaside. But this is the thing, it was a 1940s night, and I'm not joking. I had an absolute blast. It was awesome. Pretty much the vast majority of people was dressed up like this, like 1940s. We had the steam train running, which is, I think is that one. Hold on, where is it to? Yeah, that one there. Absolute beauty. And the cabins were like 1920s. It's a bit like Harry Potter, you know, like the first, when you sort of traveling to Hogwarts, it's a bit like that, exactly the same. And yeah, you're in Taunton. Yeah, sorry, man. It was like a last minute thing. We just like jumped on the occasion. But yeah, it was absolutely amazing. The British flags were everywhere, and we shared a cabin with loads of other people as well. Just having like a good general conversation with like-minded people. He was really interested in that time period. I find like World War II very interesting, like 1920s, the industrial age. And it was so cool. It was amazing. You had like music playing and actual proper singing for like the old microphones, like 1940s. But yeah, people like dressed up like that. It was such a cool time. Yeah, it was awesome. Oh yeah, that's a Boogersphere we're going to talk about later. Briefly, all right. But yeah, it was awesome. I would definitely recommend. In fact, I'm going to be dressing up next year as well. I thought I was going to go for like an army sort of style, but I thought, nah, I'm going to go for a bit more suave, hence me air. Hopefully, it was less gay. Hopefully, I think the missus is going to send me a photograph who I actually look like from Boyzone. Fucking God, I might need a haircut or lose the vest, I should say. But I tell you what, I got the heating on. It's first time this year, and I'm baking. It's so hot in there. Right, so let's get into, well, there's a few things we'll get through first. I've got my notes up. Let's bring it over here. I can actually speak into the microphone. Right, so yes, we're talking about Valiant Thor. So this is the agenda tonight. I've got a lot to go through today, all right? Yes, Valiant Thor, we're going to get to the story behind that and the author. We sort of break things down and have a more realistic conclusion. Hey, Pegany Productions, nice to see you. Welcome on in. Glad you made it. I was in chat. No, I think that's it. Right, so yes, yeah, we're going to go through everything and to break things down for you to have a more realistic perspective, I should say, on this subject. Is immensely fascinating. But yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. Obviously, the Panama life form, briefly get into that. I'm going to get my own opinions on that. The update on the Boogersphere, even though they got the carbon dating thing that's happened, I still think it's fake and gay. The Rapture, we're going to go through X. Yes, the Rapture actually happened, but still here. Drones in Norway, amongst other stuff. And I caught the ISS flying over, which we're going to be having a little look at as well. And maybe if there's time left over, we could see Ollie drunk on terrestrial materials. Maybe next week. Maybe next week. So first things first, I want to shout out to Rebecca. Now, I know Rebecca hasn't been in chat. She's gone, I think she put a comment in one of our videos, one of the live streams. She's gone through surgery and she's kind of going to go through a bit of a hard time. So if you can give her some love, that would be much appreciated because she is an essential part of our community. Rebecca, if you are listening and watching, we're all thinking of you, and come back whenever you're ready. And I've always sent you emails and just reply back, all right? So we're always here for you, all right? So I just want to give you a shout out that we haven't forgotten, all right? So we're always here, all right? But yeah, contact me through email as we're exchanging. But I hope you're doing well, Rebecca. And everyone's, there we go, see? Everyone's thinking. We're all part of the community. Yeah, she's kind of a bit of a rough patch at the moment, but I just think it's good to sort of share some love and give her a shout out as well. I think that'd be good of our community. And this is the thing why I keep coming back each week, guys. Don't worry, get to Valiant Thor. Don't worry. It's that the fact that it's because of you guys. It's the community alone. I find it absolutely incredible. Yes, we have a laugh. Sometimes we take the piss, not out of a community, but at Ross Coulthard, you know, the people that may deserve it. You know, we have a good community going on here, and this is why I keep coming back and keep doing these shows. It's we have our do you know what, if we went into a pub, I think we would all have a fucking great laugh. In fact, that's what me and Sophia were talking about. Maybe we should get together as like a fan meetup. Like if we just like meet halfway, you might have to book a hotel room because obviously we're gonna get smashed, isn't it? Yes, 429. 429. That is our new keyword for smoking weed, man. Yeah, dude. Yeah, 429. But yeah, I'm asking in the planning stages. Maybe like near time. Do you know? You don't have to drink or smoke. We'll have a good time. Don't worry. But it's yeah, we've got a good community here. That's what I'm trying to get across, and it's why I keep doing this. Why I keep coming back. So yeah, but yeah, I'll let you know when we do this sort of fan meetup. Because we're all split apart, isn't it? We're all over the place. So I'm pretty sure we can work our way around it. So yeah, I tell you what, okay. I like a bit of 420. I have done for many, many years since I was a teenager. And it comes to the point now where I observe myself through Alien Addict and I start to like slip up words. I did it in the intro on the last live stream. I thought, because I smoke quite a lot. And it started to play an effect on me. So this week, where I would normally smoke about 7-8 joints a day, I've actually had 6 joints in the past 4 days. I've actually like cut down right back to sort of get my head in the right space. You know, it's yes, it does help, especially in 2025. I mean, I don't have a lot of faith in the humanity at the moment as the crap that it's the bloody algorithms keeps on showing me like the worst stuff. But sometimes you just got to take a step back. I'm like, let's just recharge the batteries, have a good headspace, and then I don't want to give it up, but it's nice to have a bit of 420, isn't it? or 429. So yeah, that's my my challenge of the week, and yeah, it's just what it is. What it is. But it's the reading part, which is my downturn or downfall, I should say. Right, I'm rambling on about stuff that is not important, but I tell you what is important, and that's Valiant Thor, baby. Oh yeah, let's just do it. Let's get into it, and we can talk about all the nonsense a bit later. Right, yeah, what the hell was that? Square Cloud. I've never seen Square Cloud like that before. I didn't take that. I don't know where I got that from. You slipped into my folder somewhere. Right, Valiant Thor. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. I was actually going to save this for Hidden Show, but I thought, fuck it. Why not? Do it on Alien Addict. No offense, Hidden. Don't worry. I've got plans for Wednesday's show. Let's bring up notes. So, first things first. I'm going to put this a bit bigger. I'm going to put my face a bit bigger. Right. Okay. So, as a researcher, I always try to go back to the beginning. Where did the stories all start? The internet only gets you so far. So any sort of researcher, anybody who's interested into a subject, what would they first do? For instance, in ufology, okay, I want to learn about Roswell, for instance. What is the first person would do is that they go on YouTube. And what I've noticed is that there's a lot of like AI voiced. The whole thing is like AI generated, but it has a lot of like mixed information in there because I've actually read the book, the original source of the book. Yes, I actually read through it. And I went onto the internet to see what other people were saying about this Valiant Thor lore. And hey, Spirit Kelly, nice to see you. I spotted you there, man. Welcome on in. But one thing I've noticed is there's a lot of crap and like mixed information. I think false information, really. And one thing I've noticed with the internet, especially the birth of the internet, is that the research out there just is great. Don't get me wrong. It's exciting to research, but there's a lot of false truths. And I know that through German flying saucers. I know that from the back of my hand. Through publications that I bought, I can actually go through the timeline. So when I go to a YouTube channel and they're saying about German flying saucers, it's all mixed bags. It's not telling you the whole truth. And I just find that these videos are not really helping. So what I've done today is gone back to the original source and actually read the book. So the first thing that I do is find out where these stories come from, who's providing these stories, and is there any evidence to back up these stories, right? Because we are dealing with a lot of trust me bros, isn't it? That's pretty much ufology, isn't it? Hey, 12 feet tall, nice to see you, welcome on in. Is that, yes, that's 1960s. Oh, actually, no, 50s, 57, I believe. We'll get to it. We'll get to the story. Welcome on in, man. Nice to see you. So, yes, I think the internet and YouTube is a great source of finding information, but at the same time, I think you're going to get a lot of false perspectives on any subjects. And trust me, I know that when it comes to German flying saucers. You think they're going to be happening with that conspiracy? Imagine what else is going on in ufology. It's just crazy. So, what I'm going to do, I mean, the whole aspect of this show today is entertainment. Because like I said, ufology, it's a business, it's an industry, and it's entertainment. So today's presentation, I should say, is all about entertainment. All right. So take it with a pinch of salt with any sort of subject. And then after the information I come across, oh, by the way, we're going to be watching the Y-Files, okay, which I haven't watched because I want to see what, what's his name? AJ says, and Hecklerfish, compared to the research that I've been looking at. All right. So interesting to see. So let's start from the beginning. And what I've got here is where I found the book, which I'm actually going to plan to buy. In fact, I'm going to show you something, right? No, do that in a minute. Do that in a minute, because I need to bring this up first. Where are we to? If I click that button and then do that. Right. Okay. So let's start from the beginning. Where did Valiant Thor lore started? I tell you, baby. Well, honestly, I think... No, let's do that. I think that a lot of YouTube channels talking about Valiant Thor has got the base level of the conspiracy right. So I will be regurgitating a lot of that stuff, okay? We'll get to AJ because what I like about the Y files is that he put things in a realistic perspective, but it goes into like the details as well, and that's what I'm interested to actually see. Hey, one true Saxon, yes. We'll get into Dr. Frank Strange, and I'm going to show you some of that I might buy actually on eBay. So we'll get to that. But I hope you're doing well, One True Saxon. Welcome on in. Nice to see you. So let's start off with, yes, this book here. In fact, no, I need to put it a bit bigger because we want to go through it to a certain degree. Okay, right. Where are you two? There we go. Okay, so let's start from the beginning, where the stories came from about Valiant Thor. It all started with this book called Strangers at the Pentagon, which was released in 1967 by Frank E. Strange. So yes, you can find this on the archive. Actually, I'm going to put everything here is in the description, but I will stick it in chat if you want to go read it. And it's the full book itself. Can I have a little look there? There we go. So yes, Dr. Frank E. Strangers. Is it Strangers? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Someone's been saying it differently on YouTube. But anyway, what I'm going to do is, so this is the guy here, Dr. Frank E. Strange, which I'm going to bring up my notes because I have to go through my notes because I can go all over the place. Right, let's just start from my notes. Okay, so the core story of this book right here is all about the arrival of Valiant Thor, the meeting with the US leaders, a government response to spiritual messages, and obviously the departure of Valiant Thor. And also there's been a lot of exchange of technologies and all that. We're going to get to the stories, but an interesting one. So who is Valiant Thor and his stories? So Valiant Thor is a figure from ufology and conspiracy lore. Now, according to the story of Valiant Thor, he was supposedly an extraterrestrial. Let's see if we've got, I'll tell you what, where is it to? I've got a picture of him somewhere. There he is. There he is. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, so according to the story, Valiant Thor was supposedly an extraterrestrial from the planet Venus who came to Earth in the 1950s. Now, Valiant Thor wanted to give the world free energy technology or alien tech to help humanity due to the public destruction of planet Earth. Now, it's pretty much like what we're seeing today, isn't it? You know, the destruction of planet Earth, obviously back in the 50s. So that is a very common theme back in the days of ufology. So let's start from the beginning. So the main source of the story was a man called Dr. Frank Strangers, who was a Christian and was a Christian minister and a UFO author. Now, in his book, which was obviously Strangers at the Pentagon, he claims that the spaceship that landed to Earth was at the date of 1957, and eventually I tell you what. Oh, what should I do? No, I tell you what, I want to talk about the author first because he's the one that's come across this story and he's the one that actually met Thor. So what I'm going to do is bring up 2 seconds, guys. Doctor Strange. Yeah, you do that instead. Okay, sorry, guys. I've got like 1,000 tabs running at the moment. Do that, into that. Right, okay. So this is the author right here, Frank E. Strange. Yeah, okay, cool. So this guy here, Frank E. Strangers, is an American minister, author, and UFO researcher. I just want to go into his background before we get into Valiant Thor, right? So I think we need to know the author because he's the one that started these stories, all right? So he's best known for finding the National Investigation Committee on Unidentified Flying Objects as the NICUFO. Do you know what I thought? It was NICAP, which was later on, which is the National Investigation Committee on aerial phenomena, fucking all these acronyms and all that. But yes, he was part of that committee, all right? And he was a very controversial claims he brought out, meeting with supposed human extraterrestrials named Valiant Thor, obviously in the 1950s. Now, Strangers obviously read the book that I was talking about, Strangers at the Pentagon, that came out in 1967, Slow Down Nick, in which he described Valiant Thor as an alien from Venus working with the US government to help humanity with nuclear self-destruction, yada, 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 what I've been talking about. And he also bring out a lot of publications back in the day to do with UFO sightings. And this lasted from the 1980s to 2008. And I'm going to show you one of my publications I've got. And it's this, right? I'm going to show you. So, yes, I do have a publication from Dr. E. Strange. I got to cover the swastika, and that's it there. And I've talked about that a number of times on Alien Addict. And this is to do with German flying saucers, hence the name. So this is just one of many publications back in the day. And I'm going to show you what I'm planning to buy, because this is a very rarity. Right, let's do this. Right, check this out. Obviously, I was talking about he was the co-founder of UFO Journal National Investigation Committee on UFOs from 1985 to 2008. And someone has actually got every single publication right here. And go figure the price. And I'm going, should I get my UMO book that I wanted, or should I get this? And to be honest with you, I messaged the seller of this. Hence, that's my one I got there, the heart, because I liked it. And I messaged him. I said, look, how much is the post-edition package? And he's going to get back to me because he's away at the moment. But yeah, check this out. It's got like every single publication from Frank E. Strangers. Look at that. It's crazy, isn't it? So I'm looking to probably buy that. But he also has got some other publications as well. 2 seconds. I'm going to show you. Got to come out, come back in again. That one. I'll tell you, fuck it, bring that one up. Right, there's another one here. That's £74. There's 9 booklets, which is one of them I got. And yeah, you can see that there, which is quite interesting. So yeah, he has got publications you can find on eBay if you want to, if you're a serious researcher like me. And you're willing to flunk out the money, it's up to you. So yes, he is pretty much a prolific writer back in the day from the 1985, actually 1982 to 2008 until his death. So yeah, 112 quid. No way. Bloody hell. These books are absolutely ridiculous. I swear to God, they take the piss sometimes. Oh, that's actually signed as well. Okay, that's interesting. Well, anyway, yeah, just to show you, he is pretty much a prolific writer. Okay, right. Notes. Thank you very much. Sorry, I've gone silent. Hold on. I'm just trying to think what I need to bring up next. Hold on. Let's bring up the book back up again. Sorry, guys. It's like a clusterfuck of information to bring up. Let's bring up the book again. Okay, here we go. Right. So Strangers at the Pentagon. And what is interesting about this is that Frank actually met with Thor at the Pentagon. And I don't understand why he was invited to go to the Pentagon. And it seems to be a lot of... Actually, that looks... Yeah, do you know what? That looks familiar. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the same, isn't it? Hold on. That. Yeah, it's the same. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Right, yeah. So just getting to his story, because I am rambling a lot. So, yes. Sorry, just get my bearing straight right here. So yes, I've got my notes here. So yes, Frank actually met with Valiant Thor back in the Pentagon in 1957. And he said that he was introduced to Thor through contacts inside the Department of Defense. That he had several face-to-face conversations with Valiant Thor. Also, I'm going to go through the photographs. I'm going to analyze what Phil Schneider and his photograph that he showed back in his lecture back in 1996. I'm going to kind of compare the two together. But the thing is, there's a number of photographs with Valiant Thor. Interesting. So yes, Strange's claims in his book that he met Valiant Thor in 1957. Strange claims that he met the man of Valiant Thor at the Pentagon, which is the Department of Defense. Thor supposedly had a apparatus. Sorry, I spelt that wrong. Had a human appearance, I should say. He was 6 feet tall. He had brown, wavy hair, and he had 6 fingers on each hand. Obviously, get to the hand photograph where we get to Phil Schneider, what he presented. He said that Thor came from Venus and that he admitted that Venus was not an inhabitable planet the way the science had described it. So I would say even like back in Germany, even like with Atlantis and all that, there were a lot of speculations that these, even like with Mars as well and Venus, that they had distant ancestors there, or even still to this day having sort of extraterrestrial life. I mean, Mars, not so much now these days. Hey, Science Evidence Fringe, nice to see you. So yeah, that was pretty much back in lore back in the day, isn't it? When you look at it. Let's bring up a photograph of Valiant Thor. Where is he? There he is. Bit of a handsome chap, isn't he? Not gay, by the way. Even though wearing a gay vest. So yes, Valiant Thor had the abilities to speak perfect English, and he had an IQ around 1,200, bloody hell, and a lifespan of 490 years. His body had no fingerprints and no naval cavities, suggesting that he was born not human. All right, so obviously talking about aliens here. So obviously he's an alien extraterrestrial. Whether or not he's in a bodysuit, this is the other thing. Obviously, at the same point as I'm reading, sorry, this is me reading through the book and putting through bullet points. So I'm really sorry, guys, if it kind of doesn't make any sense or clear enough. I'm really sorry. But we'll get to the Y-Files, who's going to break things down more prospectively. So he also had a spiritual connection as well. So Strange admitted that Thor believed in Jesus Christ, all right, and encouraged humanity to turn towards God. All right. So I don't understand why. This is questioned now. Why would an extraterrestrial believe in God? Do you understand? I mean, it just seems a bit made up story. But anyway, we'll get to that in a bit. But the thing is, what needs to be taken consideration is that Dr. Frankie Strange basically was a Christian and he was a minister. So he was very heavily into Christianity, which does get brought up in the book several times, I believe. So if I remember rightly, but it does get brought up. So he could, look, if you could say like he did make the story up, he sort of blended that in with that Valiant Thor, which kind of makes no sense why aliens would believe in like our God, like, you know, the man in the clouds, the all creator, so to speak. But anyway, so Strange set apart the other UFO encounters at the time. So obviously he was going through a lot of UFO studies, apparently to do with the top Department of Defense, but he doesn't really go into detail. This is it. He doesn't really bring up any sort of final conclusion of what research he's actually been doing at the Department of Defense. Again, there's a lot of trust me bros. Hey, how's it going? Drunk Alphazinus. How's it going? I hope I said your name right. Welcome on in. Nice to see you. Oh, thank you. Thank God for that. I say it and I'm like, does that make any sense? Hopefully it does. Drunk. No, this is me sober apparently. But anyway, let's get back into this. So fuck it. Do you know what? I want to play the Y-Files. I've just given you a brief breakdown of Valiant Thor. He also want to give technology to the humanity to sort of give them free energy, a new burst of, to sort of further them into the future, so to speak. With this advanced technology going on. Hey, Nathan for the Quantum Show. Hey, nice to see you. Welcome on in. Look, go ahead and look, man. That's all good. No, it's all good. I know people's got stuff to do and all that. But yeah, at least you can make it, man. Nice to see you. And everyone, please check out Nathan from the Quantum Show. Very, very entertaining show. Absolutely. So yeah, welcome on in, man. Nice to see you. So yes, alien technology, spirituality, God, amongst other things as well. But I could explain that if I wanted to. But I'm just going to bring up the Y-Files because I've been waiting until the show, until I actually wanted to see what AJ has to say on this. So all the links are in description. And obviously this is for entertainment purposes and educating you and me on someone who's going to explain this a lot better than I am. I knew it was going to be crap. Where are you to, AJ? AJ, where are you to? Why files? Why files? That one? No. No. I got to find this. Where are you to? Is that it? Yay, I found it. Thank God for that. Jesus Christ. There we go. Right.
There are lots of VPNs out there at
And
all
we've got
different
an
price
ad.
points. Many of them are even free.
Believe it.
So, should you use a
Right, okie dokie. So this is only 18 minutes long and 27 seconds. And this is all to do with Valiant Thor. Now, I really enjoy the Y-Files. I think AJ and Hecklerfish are just a perfect combination. But what I like about the Y-Files, and fair play to his subscriber, 5.24 million, bloody hell. Which goes to show the work and effort he puts in. I would have to admit he does a banging job. And what I like is that he adds the believer side, but also a skeptic side as well. And you kind of like balance between your two. And he did that with the moon landings, and I thought that was pretty good. Oh man, I've got a coffee here. I've got for coffee this time. Spring Hill Jack coffee. Yes, we're going to talk about Spring Hill Jack soon, hopefully. I'm more of a tea guy, but the Spring Hill Jack coffee is awesome, mate. Awesome. Anyway, back to the man himself, AJ. But yes, very, very good perspective on what he puts forward. And that's what I like, because the YouTube channels that I have been watching in terms of Valiant Thor, it's just one side of the story. You don't really get the skeptical side. All right. So without further ado, let's check out the Y-Files. Sit back, relax, 420, 429. Do what Nathan's doing. Grab a coffee. If you're looking, welcome on in. Nice to see you. And let's do this.
On March 16th, 1957, at 8 o'clock in the morning, a 300-foot-long spacecraft landed in a field in Alexandria, Virginia. Two local police officers arrived on the scene. The door of the craft slowly opened. The officers drew their guns, not sure what to expect. To their surprise, out walked a normal-looking guy. He smiled at the stunned officers and actually waved hello. And before the policeman could say a word, the stranger said in clear English, "I need to see the president." 9 months after this event, NASA was founded. This is the story of what happened in between. This is the story of Valiant Thor. And if you don't know this one, hold on tight. We're going on a hell of a ride.
Good. I forgot for that because AJ, I'm crap at explaining stuff. What I'm going to do as we're going to go through this, I'm going to be pausing and give my perspective on this. And feel free to put your thoughts as well in chat, because yes, it's an interesting story. I have to admit, it's part of UFO lore, which I'm kind of glad I got into, really. But anyway, for ado, let's go into it.
In the fall of 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1 and 2, the first man-made satellites to go into orbit. This caught the United States off guard.
I love the fish.
The American population was
amazing.
terrified that the Russians could launch an attack from space. The American military was embarrassed at Russia's superior technology. President Eisenhower demanded action. On January 31st, 1958, the United States responded by attempting to launch the Vanguard satellite.
Attempting?
It exploded shortly after takeoff.
Oh, boy.
The space race was not going well for the Americans. The president asked Congress to establish an agency to direct American activities in space, and in July of that year, NASA was created. Although the Russians had more space achievements for the next few years, it didn't take long for the U.S. to catch up with and surpass the Soviet Union. And this couldn't have been done without NASA and the leaps forward in technology that NASA provided. NASA helped create Velcro, freeze-drying, foam mattresses, solar cells, smartphone cameras, even the Bowflex. NASA owns over 2,600 patents and is credited with over 2,000 commercial products derived from their technology. And these NASA-provided leaps forward happened fast. A more suspicious person might say they happened a little too fast.
Yeah, I have to admit, because the Soviets were way ahead in terms of the space race. And then suddenly, all of a sudden, it's like a very, very short amount of period of time. Hey, it's got the book there, I can see. And the Americans actually managed to catch up to the Soviets. And it just seems to be like, well, you're already falling behind, and now you can actually get to the moon, which kind of is a bit fishy, isn't it? Heckler fish. The heckler fish is funny. What are you talking about? 12 feet tall. He's hilarious.
The story of Valiant Thor might provide a few answers. Valiant Thor, a man from another world, agreed to share the technology of his people with the United States.
Drunk and naked.
But Valiant Thor would want something in return.
There are lots of VPNs out there
God's
at all different
sake.
price points. Many of them are even free. So,
Go away. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
On the morning of March 16th, 1957, Harley Andrew Byrd, the nephew of the legendary Admiral Richard Byrd, is in his office at the Pentagon, and he's a high-ranking official working for Project Blue Book, the top-secret military program that studied UFOs from 1952 to 1969. Around 8:30 a.m., Byrd receives a panicked call from the Alexandria Police Department. Officers are on their way to the Pentagon right now with a visitor.
That's an understatement.
A few minutes later, the police car pulled up to the Pentagon. The Secretary of Defense, Charles Wilson, and 6 of his staff are there to meet the stranger. Out of the car steps a tall man with brown hair and an easygoing manner. He looks completely normal, except he's wearing a silver and gold jumpsuit.
You like Elvis?
Shh. The stranger is ushered into an elevator that goes to the basement of the Pentagon. And from there, an underground train takes the group of men to the White House. They're taken directly to the Oval Office, where President Eisenhower is waiting. The president asks the stranger his name. Valiant, he replies, or Val. Where do you come from, Val? Eisenhower asks. I come from the planet your Bible calls the morning and evening star. Venus? Asked the president. Yes, sir. Eisenhower asked for proof, and Val offers to show the president his ship. Eisenhower asks that they sit and talk for a while first. Val says that Earth has been quietly observed for thousands of years.
Okay, I'm just going to stop it there. Right. First of all, talking about Valiant Thor, obviously knew about God. How did you know the Bible term of the planet Venus? This is the other thing. I'm just like, because the guy who created, well, whoever created the story, obviously we know who created the story. What if you want to say if it's fake? Obviously, Dr. Frank E. Strange. He was pretty much a hardcore Christian, and that's one thing I found out. So just bear that in mind. I'm not saying this could be fake, but you need to put that on the cards, all right? Okay? But we'll get to it.
But with the invention of the atomic bomb, Val's people decided to intervene. Val was sent by the High Council, which represents a governing body that spans many planets and many intelligent species, kind of like the Star Trek Federation. And Val says the High Council can help solve a lot of the Earth's problems and is offering a...
Oh, hi. Where were you two? Hey, Andrew. Yeah, we're going to go through the photographs in a bit. So I've actually got the book here on the archive. I did show it just a couple of pages, but yeah, there is photographs of Valiant Thor, which we're going to get to. Obviously, we're going to get through this first, and then we'll get to the photographs, and we'll make a realistic perspective on everything. Hey, how's it going, man? Nice to see you. Overstoked Oscars. Nice to see you. Welcome on in. Right, let's do this.
Assistance. The president asks Val to stay at the Pentagon as his guest, and Val agrees. The president also asked Val to join him at a meeting at Howard Menger's house in High Bridge, New Jersey. Now, this was a small gathering of researchers and scientists who advised the president on UFO matters. Val again agrees. He would also like to bring along the rest of his crew. And at that meeting, something unexpected happened, but we're very fortunate that it did. A young Air Force photographer named August Roberts took pictures of Val and his crew.
Whoa, mamacita!
Oh, I bet that annoyed you, didn't it, Sophia? Right, okay. Yes, I do have publications right here from August Roberts. And he is connection to Rendell Stevens. Pretty much into the Billy Meyer case, all right? So, yes, I do have August Roberts. This is the guy, apparently, that one there, who apparently photographed Valiant Thor. I've got another one as well. August Roberts, he is an author, and he was a prolific author, actually. And he obviously co-written this book called UFOs Around the World. UFOs Photographs, Volume 1, and Volume 2. Very, very rare books to get. And it shows you a lot of photographs from the 1950s and 60s on UFOs. So, yes, I got 2 publications from August Roberts. So, yes, he's the one that photographed Valiant Thor at the meeting. So, just going to show you that. Back to that. Cool. Yeah, so sorry guys, there seems to be a lot of divisive thoughts on Heckler Fish. I love Heckler Fish.
Since Val and his crew would be wearing normal human clothes for the meeting, the military wanted to examine and test the spacesuit that he wore. They called it the miracle garment.
Right.
Now, though it had fabric enough to cover.
Andrew, I'm so sorry, mate. I didn't read your comment properly. Oh yeah, go ahead. I tell you what, Andrew, if you're still in chat, here's my email address, alienaddict@gmail.com. Give us a shout, mate. And yeah, I mean, I'm a vintage book collector. I love my vintage UFO books, especially the rare ones, really, sort of trying to build an archive of UFO history, as we talk a lot about that on Alien Addict. So by all means, mate, check me out on, email right here, alienaddict@gmail.com. And yeah, be looking forward to hearing from you. Yeah, that's not me like reading comments properly. Do apologize, guys. Damn it.
A 6 foot tall man, it weighed only 6 ounces, including a pair of boots. It was also indestructible. They shot it with guns, poured acid on it, used a laser, even a diamond tipped drill. Not only could they not pierce the fabric, they couldn't even make a mark on it.
Oh, hang on.
What?
You got pictures of aliens, but you want to talk about fabric?
I'm just giving background.
And you wonder why the algorithm hates the channel. This is why. Get to the weird stuff.
Fine. These are the pictures taken at Howard Menger's house at the meeting in Highbridge, New Jersey. These are photos of Val and the other members of his crew, Don, Jill, and Tanya.
Those names don't sound very
Venusian.
What'd I say?
At this meeting, Val told the president how they could help solve world hunger, cure disease, and end all war, but they needed all countries with nuclear weapons to disarm. Eisenhower politely said that mankind just wasn't ready for such drastic changes. That's when Val realized he couldn't accomplish his mission alone. He needed someone from Earth who was open-minded to help him convince the leaders of the world. That person would spend the next 3 years working closely with Valiant Thor, and his name was Dr. Frank Stranges.
Okay, so far,
Frank,
from what I've, obviously, the people that knew in chat, I've read the original book, which is, I put it in, the link is for the book is in description on archive.com. And yes, I've read through the book, and pretty much what AJ is saying is pretty much right.
Stranges was a well-known UFO researcher, author, and theologian. He had PhDs in psychology, philosophy, and criminology. One day, Frank receives a call from a very excited August Roberts, the photographer at the Highbridge gathering. He got these photos of aliens, but doesn't know what to do with them. Now, Frank is fascinated.
It just looks too human to come from Venus. It looks very 1950s, isn't it? Like the slick back hair. Because according to Phil Schneider, he's supposed to be in a bodysuit. Excuse me, like. So I just. Anyway,
by the photos and starts using them in his lectures. And after giving a talk in Washington, D.C., Frank is signing copies of his books and chatting with guests. A woman introduces herself as Nancy Warren.
Brilliant.
She looks.
Much appreciated, mate. Yeah, give us a shout, and I'll get back to you. Sorry, I didn't read your comment properly. Yeah, when I'm under pressure, I've got to keep to a script. I'm like all over the place, and I don't read properly or speak. But anyway, give us a shout, and looking forward to hearing from you, man.
Round, and while holding up a Pentagon ID card, she quietly asks if Frank wants to meet the man in those pictures. Of course, he jumps at the chance. And the next morning, Frank arrives at the Pentagon and is taken to Val's quarters. The door opens. Val extends his hand, gives a warm smile, and says, "Hello, Frank." Val knows everything about him. And they chat for a while, and Val says he needs Frank's help. Frank wants to know why he, of all people, gets this honor. Val says that Frank had an open mind, was constantly talking to people, and was also a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ.
There we go. See, this is the thing. It's kind of got to have a realistic perspective on what we're sort of information we're consuming here. Yes, we're dealing with a book from the 1960s. So there's a lot of trust me bros, really. I mean, that's ufology, really. But you need to understand is why was Frank E. Strange, why was he put forward into the Department of Defense, into the Pentagon out of all places, to interview with Valiant Thor? It's, for me, it just really makes no sense. Why would somebody anyway, We'll get to it. We'll get to it near the
I'm
end.
gonna have to stop you right here. How did we get from Venus to Jesus?
Well, Frank Stranges was a Christian evangelist. He
There you
preached
go.
that Jesus and the angels are actually extraterrestrials, and there are references to UFOs in the Bible. Got anything else?
No. This
Hey,
this
Mark,
story.
nice to see you.
Wow.
morning.
Let me. You know what? I better wait. Just keep going.
Yeah. That's me. I'm like Hecklerfish. I'm like, oh, okay, let's just hold off. Let's just keep going until we'll make a realistic conclusion. Do you see what I mean? There's a lot of Christian and Jesus being put into there. I mean, from the planet Venus, you know, do I believe in God? Yes, but not the God that you think. I do believe we came from extraterrestrials and not the person in the cloud, you know, who the all creator. I think I'm going that far from it, you know, the fact we came from aliens. But look, I remained open-minded, and I'm not going to slag anyone off who believes in God. If you want to believe in God, God bless you. And it's your own opinion. If you want to, I mean, I've got someone here who keeps on saying to me that I need to give myself to Jesus because the rapture is coming. I am not joking. She's a lovely lady, but sometimes it's like, okay, can you not like push this towards me? But anyway, if you believe in God, fair play to you. And I'm not going to slack you off.
So, Valiant Thor's mission is to save mankind, specifically to help mankind return
That's
to
a
God.
thought, Green Tea.
Val asks Frank to help
I like
spread this
that.
message. In exchange, Val will share all the wonders of the universe with the human race. And though this meeting is a short one, Val reveals a lot of information. He confirms that there is intelligent life on other planets, many other planets, and there are more solar systems in the universe than we could even dream of. And over the next few years, Val works with the United States government and agrees to share some of his technology.
NASA.
Right, and Valiant Thor's mission officially begins.
Yeah, that connection between this story and NASA coming into fruition. But we're dealing with rockets here. We're dealing with German scientists. You need to understand this. You know, Project Paperclip, we brought in thousands of Nazi scientists through all walks of life in terms of people that went to the intelligence agency, obviously NASA, the pharmaceutical companies, literally all over the place in America. So in terms of the technology wise, you haven't really succeeded in the past 60 years since the Apollo missions that went to the moon, if we actually went to the moon or not. So got to add that into fruition as well.
As the years went on, Val confided in Frank Stranges about some of the extraterrestrial activity happening on Earth.
Example.
Well, there are communication devices hidden in homes around the world. And today, some of these homes are in Reno, San Diego, Los Angeles, and Geneva. And the equipment is a holographic communicator. Whoever you're speaking with appears to be in the same physical room as you are. And Frank saw one of these devices in use and couldn't believe it. This equipment allows communication between bases on Earth, between ships, and with the home base ship that's orbiting the planet. And during this time, Val's work with President Eisenhower is not going well. A few times, Val convinces the president to convene a meeting of the United Nations to begin the process of Earth joining the intergalactic community. But every time this comes close to happening, the CIA or Department of Defense interferes. They feared that if Val's message gets out, too many people will follow it. And this would threaten America's military supremacy. And they shut the president down. And President Eisenhower actually gave us a hint that this was happening. In his farewell address in 1960,
I'm pretty sure Eisenhower met with aliens to bind a treaty to abduct a certain amount of people. I talked about that on Hidden Underbelly show. I can't remember which show it was. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he met with like the grey aliens. And now he's meeting with Valiant Thor at pretty much the same time period, 1950s. I'll just throw that out there.
1961, just a year after Val's mission ends, Eisenhower warns against the establishment of a military-industrial complex, and that creating a weapons industry would be dangerous, that they would become too rich and too powerful.
Yeah, he was right on the money with that one.
He sure was. And remember, Eisenhower was the armiest army guy on the planet. He was the supreme commander of the Allied forces in World War II. He was elected president because he was a war hero. But here he was saying we can't allow weapons and war to become a profitable business. And colleagues of Eisenhower, like General MacArthur, thought this speech was crazy, especially with the Soviet Union becoming so powerful. But Ike meant it.
I like Ike.
Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore. So Val's 3-year mission came to an end in 1960 and was not a success. But that wouldn't be the last time we hear from Valiant Thor.
You're not going to believe what happened.
Oh,
tell me everything. I'll show you on Monday.com. So I started the biggest initiative.
Okay, so from what I've read in the book, yes, it's pretty much lining up what AJ is saying, really. It's I've got some questions to ask, some very hard questions. We'll leave it to the end. We'll leave it to the end.
Even though his relationship with Val changed his life for the better, Frank Strange's experiences weren't all positive. After giving a lecture in Germany, his food was poisoned and he nearly died. Val appeared with the antidote and a warning for Frank: watch your back. A few years later, Frank is on his way to meet Val when he's shoved in the back of a car. He's taken out to the desert and nearly beaten to death until Val and Don show up. And on his honeymoon, Frank and his wife are run off the road by a mysterious black car. Frank's neck and hips are broken. He almost dies in the hospital. But Val shows up and heals him instantly. He walked out of the hospital that day in perfect health. But the most important event in Frank's life...
So that can easily be tracked, can it? There'll be paper trail for that, you see. So I'd just put it out there.
Life happened in June 1968. Val tells Frank to fly to San Diego. There's something he needs to see. Val picks up Frank in the airport and they drive south toward Mexico, across the border, and finally stop at a little town called San Felipe. They park the car behind a restaurant and walk a rocky path down to the beach. And that's when Frank saw it. A 300-foot-long, 21-foot-tall silver saucer hovering just on top of the water.
Whoa!
Val looked at Frank, pointed at the spacecraft, and asked, "Want to see?" The interior of the spaceship is enormous. It doesn't look scientific, more like a resort. There's a library, a gym, dining hall, and media room.
A gym.
After getting a tour, Frank is shown to his room. He says the floor feels like a thick cloud. And with
man, I can just see the gym, an extraterrestrial gym with like busty aliens wearing spandex. I could just picture it now.
Every step, the surface conforms to the shape of his foot. And there are no corners or right angles anywhere. Everything feels organic and peaceful. Frank settles in and has one of the most restful nights of sleep of his entire life. In the morning, Val takes Frank back to the San Diego airport. As the years pass, Frank adds these experiences to his lectures, trying to spread Val's message. And in 1967, he publishes the book Stranger at the Pentagon, which documents all of Frank's time with Val. Now, I'll link to the book below. You can buy it on Amazon, but I'll also link to a place where you can read it for free. The book has more pictures of Val, flying saucers, all kinds of strange things. And Frank breaks down the technology that they have, types of propulsion, anti-gravity, all kinds of stuff. Frank even includes a diagram.
Yeah, a lot of those photographs, guys, are in the two books that I showed you. So very classic 1950s, 60s photographs. Yeah, I know some of them can be faked, but I quite like to believe that they're real. It's like the kid in me wants to believe it. Yeah, but have a realistic perspective on stuff. But yeah, you have to admit, look, there's a lot of faking going back in the day in ufology. Look at Billy Meyer, you know.
Of the spaceship. And though Frank Strange has passed away a few years ago, Valiant Thor is still here. As we speak, his ship Victor 1 is parked and cloaked on the shore of Lake Mead, east of Vegas. And several thousand people are aware of Val and Victor 1, including about 2,000 government employees. A few scientists have even been on board. And the book ends with a message from Val. In short, he says we should be kind to one another, be open-minded, and spend more time in the service of others. Treat people as you'd like to be treated. Val is describing the golden rule. It's nice to know the golden rule applies no matter what planet you're on. So if you're watching this and have access to one of those communication devices, do us a favor and let Val know we need him more than ever.
Yeah, kind of.
Valiant Thor is probably the most requested topic on this channel. And it's easy to see why. It's a story rich with characters and action and a positive message.
And here comes the but. He ruins the story.
But is it true? Well, let's start with Harley Andrew Bird, the man working for
Okay, right. This is what I like about AJ. People in ufology hate this part. when it comes to the being more skeptic and asking the hard questions. As that's what I like about ufology. You need to ask the harder questions, and don't be afraid to say, look, I think this might be bullshit. Okay, be unique. Don't be like everyone else that are just regurgitating the same stuff, the same talking points. We need to look through the skeptic side, because like with me, like my research with the skies, you know, the trails in the skies, I look at both sides of the story. It's a more mature way of looking at a topic. So now we're going to get into the yes, over to yes. The best part, I say the best, the more rational part. I think we need to ask those questions. So I'm interested to see what AJ says on this one.
Project Blue Book at the Pentagon. He says he's Admiral Byrd's nephew. I'll post a link to Admiral Byrd's genealogy below. The Admiral did have 4 nephews, none named Harley Andrew, but could the genealogy be wrong?
Couldn't think of the word.
Sure. Doubtful, but it could be.
Thank you, Mark.
But if Harley really was in the Pentagon in 1957, that would mean he had top secret clearance as a teenager. Okay. Another believer is Laura Eisenhower, great-granddaughter of the president himself. Now, she claims she was recruited to go to Mars in 2006. UFO disclosure is coming and that Valiant Thor is real. But is she credible? Well, that really depends on your personal beliefs. She's an intuitive astrologist, a global alchemist, cosmic mythologist, a guardian of the organic ascension timeline, and an opener of natural stargates.
Oh my God, his stories I've heard before. Hey, Pagan Productions. Nice to see you, man. Yeah, have a good weekend, and I'll catch you on the next show. And yeah, have a good weekend, man. Yeah, see, you can see once you get into I've been to planet Mars and all that sort of stuff, you'd be like, okay, it's like the Sarah R. Adams, who I think I met at remember Max Spear? I actually saw him or met him at a conference. This was years ago. I can't remember what it was. I need to jog my memory on that one. But yeah, once you get to that sort of, it's a bit like the David Wilcock sort of thing, you know, the Galactic Federation. It just goes right over my head. I'm like, all right, okay.
Hell of a resume.
Yeah, it's a lot. But if we really are in the danger that she claims, we need all the cosmic warriors we can get. But what about Dr. Frank Stranges?
All the best, mate.
Here's where things get messy. First of all, the entire story of Valiant Thor comes from Strange's book, Stranger at the Pentagon, which was released in 1967. But Val arrived 10 years earlier. And during that time, Frank published other books on UFOs and even produced a couple of documentaries about UFOs and aliens. Yeah. No mention of Valiant Thor in all that time.
Well, maybe he was waiting for the right time to tell the story.
Maybe, but we have to consider the messenger. Frank claimed to have 3 PhDs from 2 colleges. Well, one of those colleges doesn't exist, and the other doesn't offer PhDs and never has. He says he was the deputy director of the California State Marshal Association, but there's no such thing. The book itself is basically a retelling of The Day the Earth Stood Still. I come in peace, take me to your leader, nuclear weapons are bad, the hero and the alien become friends. It's exactly the same. But Frank made it very, very religious. Everything in the book is God's will, the power of Christ, all that stuff. But Frank was a preacher, a Christian evangelist, so this is to be expected. He traveled the country giving lectures about UFOs and their connection to God and the Bible. Yeah. Stranger at the Pentagon.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's I noticed when I was reading through the book, there's a connection between ufology and Christianity. It's like blending the two together. And that's where it just kind of lost me because, you know, I haven't read the Bible. I don't know the whole passage of what Christianity is. I just know about God and Jesus, really. The basics. So once it gets into that sort of side of ufology, which in all honesty, I think ufology should stay out of Christianity. But unfortunately, like I said, he was a minister. He was heavily into Christianity. So in a way, if he did fake the story, which kind of sounds like he did, he sort of blended the two in together, which in one way just loses me, you know. There's no disrespect, you know.
It's a book about spreading the word of Christ. If the story isn't real, this is a genius way to get non-believers interested in Christianity.
Adding aliens can improve any story.
Agreed.
Well, what about the pictures of the aliens? Are those real?
That I don't know.
Remember her princess era?
Oh, sorry, guys.
Well, with Vinted's new categories, you can now sell all sorts of pre-loved items.
Vinted, sponsor me.
Fashion to
you
home,
played on Alien Addict. Sponsor me, give me money.
And feel new again. Don't use it, sell
I'll
it.
download Brave.
We might find that kid who's got the raw talent in a back street in Preston somewhere.
Look, the thing is...
We're moving back to Barry.
What?
I'm in Shetland.
You went home?
Sorry.
I did.
Where are you from then?
The Glen.
So sorry. I'll download Brave, I promise. Fuck off, BBC.
Could be pictures of an alien crew advising the president of the United States. Or they could be pictures of random people at a backyard barbecue. Nobody's come forward claiming to know anyone in the photos, so we can't prove them, but we can't debunk them either. And look,
Yeah, I put the photos through AI to find out who that person is, and it couldn't come up with anything. I put it through Grok and ChatGPT. I couldn't identify the person. I think now with AI being proved, you might be able to find out who this is and where this actually took place. So time will tell. Time will tell.
look, this story is way out there, but in the 40 years he spent giving lectures about Valiant Thor, Frank's story never wavered. And ever since then, many people have sprung up claiming to know Valiant Thor or even be Valiant Thor. Val has his own author page on Amazon, so he writes books now. Now, do I believe Jesus was an alien? No. Do I believe the story of Valiant Thor? Not at all. But Val's message of being kind and spending more time in the service of one another, having an open mind, these are things I do believe in. We all should. And that's the irony of the story. The more you ridicule Valiant Thor, it turns out the more you need him.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
Thank
fair
you
play.
so much for hanging.
All right, okay, all right, fair enough. Okay, let's come out of that. Yeah, thanks to the Y-Files and Hecklerfish. Man, people are divisive on that. Hecklerfish is look. Some of them are really good, really funny. I have to admit. So fair shout to the Y-Files. AJ did an amazing job. Obviously, the team involved in that sort of put things into a realistic perspective. I think this is really important. That the fact that he went through the critical side, the more that sort of side that he mentioned. I mean, talking about the, being a teenager at the time of meeting Valiant Thor and all those sort of aspects of that don't get touched on YouTube channels. Very important to come across. And to be honest with you, tell you what, we're going to bring him up. Let's see what Phil Schneider, as a bit of a recap from last week's show, it's what Phil Schneider has to say. Now, like I said, Phil Schneider kind of reminds me of his hand kind of reminds me of Hanson from Scary Movie 2. So that's no offense to people who got offended by that when I said that in Hidden Show. But anyway, nevertheless, let's see what Mr. Schneider has to say about Valiant Thor. All right. So we know the basic concept of Valiant Thor. He was a man who had brown hair, he had 6 fingers, and he looked like a 1950s bloke, innit, really? So he looks like a human. Let's see what Phil has to say.
These are the benevolent aliens, and they've been here helping us. In fact, I have a picture. Let me reach for it here.
With my strong hand.
I have a picture of one of the aliens been working for the United States Pentagon for the last 58 years. His name is Valiant Thor. He's right here.
Okay, so even Phil Schneider knows about Valiant Thor.
There's my father in the background. This old place, the ready room of the USS Eldridge, Al Bielek has probably explained, or maybe even shown you this picture. There's a list of some of the notable people in it. They're all the atomic bomb scientists of the day, all the time variant experimentalists of the day, all the top physicists of that particular day. This was in August of 1943.
Yeah.
Now this guy has not changed one iota in 58 years.
Right. Okay. So what Phil Schneider is saying is that the photograph that have I got it from? Do you know what? I might have it actually. 2 seconds. Yes, I've got it. Fantastic. We're going to bring it up. Okay.
Started work. He came here, crashed here, or whatever. Whether he's under.
So he said he crashed here, whatever. Right. That's not very good. But the guy Valiant Thor hasn't changed in 56 years. This is in 1996, I believe, or 1995, mid 90s, I believe. This lecture came out. So we are talking about 1920s or something like that. So this is way before the 50s.
Duress or not, he started work for our U.S. Navy and military operations in 1937, either 37 or 38 is what I've been told.
I love dogs.
So it's for 58 years, this man's been employed, probably under duress. If you don't do as we say, we're just going to use you for alien bait or something. I don't know. But anyway, he basically hasn't changed. He lives for 490 years, is what he says his lifespan is. Now,
right, did he say that, or did Frankie Strange's book say that? Because we did a Phil Schneider show last week, all right? I remember Phil Schneider was well into sci-fi since he was a kid. So I guarantee he would have read the book or was aware of Frank E. Strange's publications back in the day. Obviously, he wrote journals. Like I showed you what I wanted to buy on eBay. He was a prolific writer, and that was spread out throughout the United States. So you got to put that into consideration. Is Phil Schneider just regurgitating stories from from Strangers at the Pentagon book? You got to think about that.
He's supposedly a semi-benevolent, he's a human-looking type person. He has 6 fingers and 6 toes, and he's got one oversized heart, one lung, giant lung. His blood vessels are bigger. He's got copper oxide for blood, similar to an octopus. His brain capacity, 300 centimeters greater than ours. He has a thinking capacity, IQ. If you were to measure, it'd be totally off the scale, be about a 1200 IQ. He speaks 100 languages fluently, alien as well as others.
But also you need to take in consideration, around about 1995, that's the birth of the internet, and it's nowhere what it is today, Facebook and all that. It was literally just beginning. So people didn't have access to this information, especially these photographs. So Phil could have brought up any photograph, especially with the one with his dad in it, it does have his dad in this photograph. And he's just pointing at a person at the front, which we'll get to the photograph in a minute. So like I said, people don't have access to the information. So they're just sort of taking Phil Schneider's word for it, isn't it? Really? So you got, just think about that. But I honestly, Phil Schneider, I'm really 50-50 on the guy. I think he did regurgitate and made up a lot of stories in regards of his hand thing, with the aliens. I don't know, but his death is very suspicious, so I'm very 50-50. And go check out my last live stream I did last week's show on Phil Schneider.
Remarkable person. I had a chance to meet him one time. Now,
don't worry, bring it up.
By the way, he doesn't shake hands.
Got it here.
He was kind of in a spacesuit, because all aliens, regardless benevolent or otherwise, they're carrying germs and diseases and bacterium in and on them that are deadly to us. If I were making policy, I'd quarantine them all, because how do we not know that some of our diseases like AIDS, Ebola, hantavirus, and a few of these other weird designer diseases, as I call them, are not made from the cadavers of some of these aliens as a biological weapon to use against the people of the United States.
With the internet, guys, sorry for pausing. I think you make a really good point there, Overtilly. Is it Overtilly? Sorry, man. I'm just going to call you Oscars. Yeah, I mean, the internet is a fantastic place for researching information. Don't get me wrong. For me, when it comes to ufology, I'm more of a history buff. Hence, I got a load of books here dating back through the 1950s, 60s. I mean, the history of ufology as far back as I can. So I like to read books and that sort of topic. But the internet, as it's now got more progressively more easy access for this information, especially with AI, is fantastic for find a new source of information. But are you going to get the correct information? Because there's one thing I need to talk about. One thing is called Operation Mockingbird. I want to talk about that at some point. Not today, probably later on, further down the line. in some live streams, that the fact that there's a lot of information put out there to push the people, even like it could be any community, especially the UFO community, in a certain direction. Could be a psyop and all that. So yeah, the internet is good, and yes, good and bad, because you get to see the bad side of people, especially in 2025. But researching UFOs as a topic on the internet, it's all over the place. And here on Alien Addicts, when we stick to a subject, we want to have like a realistic conclusion. And yeah, the internet can kind of put you in different rabbit holes in different directions, and it's all over the place, depending on what subject you're looking into. So yeah, I mean, the internet is good and good and downside. I mean, I have to admit, 2007, that's when I really woke up and I realized that everything that I thought was true was actually wrong. And the internet, in one way, the birth of, I mean, YouTube came out 2005, so I was on YouTube. Yeah, 2007, looking at like 9/11 conspiracies, and that bloody changed my life. And then I saw Dr. Judy Wood, and I was like, oh, bloody hell, well, I've got to research this. So, yeah. But make a good point there, man. It has changed a lot of lives, I have to admit.
Well, I'm tired. I'm a tired American speaking out.
All right, Phil. So the point I want to get across there is that Phil Schneider most likely knew the stories of Strangers at the Pentagon book, because it came out in 1967. All right. So he's most probably regurgitated that story and then implied his father and that photograph, actually going to bring up now, actually, into his story. Now, Bob, you were talking about the photograph, and I do have it here. Check this out. Here we go. So right here is Valiant Thor himself. Now, Phil said he hasn't changed in 57 years. Now, compared to the photograph that I showed you before, looked like a very young man, I would say. Oh, bear in mind, the people in the 50s look, I mean, older, but they're actually younger. So someone in their 20s actually look like someone in their 40s or 50s. Right? So in one way, you could say that Phil lied, but that flipping chin, though, look at that. So apparently, this is Valiant Thor, and he's in a spacesuit, okay, because the diseases he's given off, because he's an alien from Venus. I would say, excuse me. Yeah, Phil's dad, he's right there. Sorry, is the cutoff point on that one. Have I got another one on that one? No, I think that's it. Okay, yeah. So yeah, Phil Schneider's dad is right here, and obviously this is Valiant Thor. Now let's just have a little look. Can we see if he's got 6 fingers? No, you can't. I would say he's got very long fingers. Yes, that's Thor. Where's his bloody hammer? But he's got a bloody big chin. Look at that chin. But according to Phil Schneider, Damon, Phil Schneider, he hasn't changed in 57 years. So I don't know. I tell you what, fuck it. Let's bring up the book again. I want to bring up that book, and we're going to go through. So just picture that, right? Picture that face. Look at that chin. All right. Okay. So just picture that. I'm going to leave that for a moment. Oh my God, that is absolutely. I tell you what, I'm a cider drinker. Not every day, but it's only on Fridays. Pulling an Ollie here. Sponsor me, Richest Cider. That's a blackberry one. Absolutely amazing. Sorry, and that burped confirmed it. So anyway, just picture that, and let's bring up the book and let's go through some photographs of Valiant Thor back in the day, like that. Right? No, it's not the same. It's not the same. Do you know what I'm going to do? Because the power of the internet, I can do that. Do that. I'm going to save that. Right. Okay. So this is Valiant Thor in 1957. 2 seconds, because I'm going to put the 2 photographs up together so you can see yourself. That one. And we're going to put in that one. Right. Okay. That into that. Sorry, guys. Okay. Let's do that into that. Fuck it. Sorry, guys. I'm really going off the whim here. I'm going to bring up my editing software and we're going to compare the two photographs. Let's make it a bit bigger. There we go. Right. Let's do this. Right. This is from the book and that is from the Phil Schneider presentation. Right. Let's bring it up. It's the nose. Look at the nose. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut that like that. Let's do that. There we go. Right. Okay. Right. You tell me if that is the same person. Right. Let's look at the ears. Let's observe. Right. First things first. Is the nose. Very curved nose right here. This is very pointy. And I would say the bridge right here, my cursor, is completely different to this. His chin is completely different to this. Yeah, different shaped ears. Yes. Yes, absolutely. The hairline, it's kind of hard to tell that. It might get a bit pixelated. But the ears, the nose, the chin does not match up. Does not match up. Now, this is the original from... It kind of looks like George Bush, yeah, doesn't he? Yeah, this is from the book, and this is what Phil Schneider showed. It's not the same person. It's not. Okay, so... That's not Phil's dad. No, Phil's dad in the background here. This is what he's saying is Valiant Thor. Hey, Jamming Music Man, nice to see you. Oh, you're here now. Don't worry, man. You're all here. Yeah, hope you're doing well, brother. Yeah, so what we're saying here, Jamming Music Man. This is from the book 1967 called Strangers at the Pentagon. This is Valiant Thor, but this is what Phil Schneider showed in his lecture in 1996. And they're obviously completely two different people. So, look, Phil Schneider, I'm sorry to say that. Well, I'm not sorry, but look, he made it up. He made it up. It's not the same person. I'm just going to say that, you know. Right, anyways, get off that. Let's bring up the book. Again, let's go for more Valiant Thor. There you go, there's another one. So this is the original book right here. Yeah, chin is different. This is Valiant Thor right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it looks like he's got 5 fingers. Okay, let's just go down and see if we've got any pictures. The meeting. Let's go down. Let's have a look. Hold on. Oh, the cider video. Sorry, that's fake as fuck. Oh, dear. Oh, fucking hell. Hold up. Oh, yeah. See, this is what I noticed. You started putting like a lot of God and Jesus into it. And it just loses me at that point. Oh, that's a classic photograph. In fact, that is in... Where is it to? Where is it to? And you can tell where they got this photograph from. Got it. There we are. So actually, I just want to see myself. There you go. So, I can't see myself. Remember August Roberts? There you go. Sorry, I can't see myself. There you go. That's where you got the photograph from, which is from this book here, UFO Volume 1 photographs. From the man himself. Rendell Stevens. What else we got here? So I'm just going to bust through it because there's some pretty good photographs. 1960s photographs, which can obviously be fake. Yeah, sorry, the nose is different. He's got a more curved nose. Let's go through quickly. Let's have a look. In one way, I may discredit a lot of these UFO photographs here, but to be honest with you, it kind of reminds me of me being a kid going to the bookstore and looking for like UFO books. I mean, my mum used to get me like UFO magazines back in the day, which I started collecting back up again. So these photographs, I really thought they were real, but sometimes you got to go, look, there's a lot of faking going back in the day. But it kind of reminds me of when I was a kid. So it's a very nostalgic feeling, I should say, when I look at these photographs, regardless if you think they're real or not. Sorry. Okay, that's it. Yeah. Okay. It did look like a Will hub and a lampshade as well. Hey, Dr. Plus, nice to see you. Welcome on in. Thor's not wearing a... Okay. Well, he said, according to the stories, he was around about over 6 foot tall. But saying that, how many people I know are like 6 foot tall? And there's loads of them. So, but yeah, welcome on in, my man. Nice to see you. Anyone else in chat? Yeah, that may. When it kind of blends that together, it kind of loses me a little bit. Especially if that's someone that doesn't believe in God. It kind of... I just think it should stay out of it. My own opinion. Yeah, look, he's the one that promoted a lot of Billy Meyer stuff. Have got any Billy Meyer stuff in this book? Yeah, probably. Oh, I tell you what, I love that photograph. Look at that one now. All right, there. I like that. It's got a flipping ashtray, isn't it? But yeah, Rendell Stevens, he almost plays victim in ufology, who is a prolific writer, who obviously he is the author of this book as well. And at the same time, it's when you're dealing with Billy Meyer, because I wanted to do a show on Billy Meyer, but at the same time, we all know it's fake. If you think it's real, that's absolutely fine. But look, it's a flipping flying saucer on a string, a toy flying saucer. And if you know how he managed to actually achieve the video footage, and especially the photographs, he used to blend in the background, his realistic background, which was lovely scenery in Swindon. Is it Swindon? That's a shit place. No offensive from Swindon. Sweden, I should say. Yeah, Swindon is not very as a mixed bag place in England, but Sweden, lovely landscape. So what he was doing is blending small miniature models, which he was doing, even though he had one arm, but he was blending out with the actual background of the landscape. And I have to admit, back in the day, it convinced a lot of people. But now you look through it, it's going, oh, it's a flipping toy flying saucer on a string. Yeah, really look at it, really. You know. Oh, you're in Sweden. Oh, lovely. I tell you what, lovely place. And not Swindon. Swindon, it's you know what Swindon's like, Sophia. I don't want to bash anyone from Swindon, but it's like you just go in and out of that place. You know what I mean? It's a bit like Bristol. But no, Sweden, lovely place. My best friend's brother lives in Sweden, and he showed me some photographs. It's absolutely stunning. I love that landscape view with the mountains, and it's just, it seems a lot of peaceful place. I don't mind moving there, actually. But they don't want another immigrant, put it that way. But yeah, it's Billy Meyer, I think. No, I do know he's full of absolute BS. And it's been 70s, 1890s, nearly 40, 50 years since he's been in contact with the aliens. The Palladians, I should say. Or Nordics. Yes, one true Saxon. I couldn't agree more. So, yeah. Anything to do more with Valiant Thor? Let's have a little look. So you know the gist of the story. So final conclusion, guys. I tell you what, can I put the thing up in chat? I can do a poll. Hold on. I'm going to put a poll in chat. Alien Act. going to go off the whim here, guys. Sorry for the silence. Do apologize. Right, what are we doing here? Can I not go down? That would be great. Oh, it's been gay. Why are you gay? I can't. All right, fuck it. All right, I tell you what. If you think Valiant Thor story is real, put real. If you think it's fake, then put fake. So if you want to put that in chat now, and I'll just be good to see whether or not people think it's actually real, because a lot of people think it's real. A lot of people think it's like 50-50, and some people think it's fake. So put real or fake. Let's go for it. So Paul, you're saying it's fake? Okay. John Strokes, you said it's fake. Sophia, you say it's fake. Barry, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Faking gay. Fake. Half. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Real as Thor, real. Okay, fair enough, man. Fair enough. And my Wild is saying faking. Well, gay and fake. You both ways then, mate. Real. Okay, fair enough. So I think a lot of people are siding that is actually fake. Okay. So what I presented you today was I'm really crap at like doing presentations and reading through stuff. It's a learning curve, guys. Learning curve. But going through what AJ was saying, especially at the points at the end, it kind of makes sense that it's most likely a fake story. But it's part of ufology lore, conspiracy lore, and Valiant Thor might be here, might not be. But we'll keep it on the cards, and anything new that comes along. In fact, who was that woman who said he was in contact with Thor? Might do a catch-up on that. Might do. So my conclusion, Nick, you never mentioned he had no belly button. He had a cock, but no balls. Oh man, how'd you know that? How'd you know that, once you Saxon? I want to know. I want the evidence of that. Oh no, that's a this is my £30. What would you call it? It was a specific name for it. I can't remember, but it's like a curtain sheet with an alien, but it's actually got a discotheque or something in it. But yeah, I'm actually going to change it up. So I was going to say to the people, changes will be happening to Alien Addict. I'm actually going to buy, I should say, a vintage or Victorian bookcases. I'm going to have my books behind me. So it's going to look all like wooden interior behind me, but I quite like the banner. But no, it's a cloth you can get from Amazon. 30 quid. Looks cool as hell. Yeah, do you know what? It suits it, because I had the old I Want to Believe poster, and I was like, that's so bloody generic, isn't it, when you look at it? But one thing that annoys me is that crease. See that crease there? I can never get it straight. Damn it, I hate looking at it. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's I mean, I read through the book and I just put things in bullet points. But the thing is, when I have it into a script and I got to read it, when I'm under pressure, my reading's awful. So I thought, let's just play AJ, because he's most likely read the book, or his team has read the book, and he's actually put it into a more better presentation than I would. So, but what AJ was saying is basically what I would have said anyway. This is not me saying I'm bullshitting, but basically it's got everything right. Okay. So yes, Strangers at the Pentagon. If you want to go read it, I'll pull it in chat now. It's on Archive Internet, or Internet Archive, which is a fantastic place to find like old vintage books. So I'm going to put that in chat right now, and go read to your heart's desires. And if you think it's real, you think it's real. But in my personal opinion, as someone has a bit more critical, I was going to say critical thinker, really, more realistic perspective, I think that it's just, once again, one of those stories that is just in UFO lore, and it's most likely fake. But I like to thought that Valiant Thor would come down and
do his bidding. But it's the whole thing just seems a bit too far-fetched. And I have to admit, when I was looking at presentations through Frank E. Strange, actually, I forgot a couple here. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. That can go. Have I got anything else I can show? No. Okay. All right. Let's move away from Valiant Thor because I've got some other stuff to talk about as well. So yeah, we might do a follow-up on Valiant Thor at some point if it hits the trends again. So we'll see. We shall see. Let's bring up notes. But yeah, most probably fake. And gay. Right. What else can I bring up next? I think we need to make our way to X for update of ufology. Years. Bookmark. Okie dokie. Oh, do you know what? One of my favorite horror films of all time is The Exorcist, and that is such an iconic shot, isn't it? It really is. Do you know what? That sort of. I think my parents had the VHS tape because, believe it or not, The Exorcist was banned in the UK for a number of years due to a bunch of like old women pissing and moaning that it affects the children. It's like, well, children should be watching it anyway. But then it was re-released. In fact, it was first shown on Channel 4 in the year 2000. And I remember watching the advert for it on Channel 4. And my mum and dad had the VHS tape of The Exorcist. But I always remember that iconic shot. And it is, I have to admit, for someone who's not a Christian, who kind of believe in God, it still scares the shit out of me still to this day. It really does. Yeah, The Exorcist. It was, one of the best shots in horror movies. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Oh my God, am I going to bring this up? Okay, so Red Panda Koala has this. So...
Okay, guys, here it is again. I just got home.
Okay. Okay, sod that. We're going to skip that for the moment. And let's go to the Boogosphere. Right. Because I'm going to get my thoughts on that. Tubular Bells, yes. Isn't that iconic soundtrack? I mean, do you know what? The whole album's actually pretty good. If you like that sort of music. One more two. Right, okay. Boogosphere. Boogosphere has been analyzed and trying to find out whether or not it's actually real, fake, or gay. Here it is in all its glory. So this is extraterrestrial, you guys. Okay, right. First things first. For the people in chat, please put in. Oh, One True Saxon, thank you so much, brother. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's much appreciated. What can I say? Like, oh, thank you. Honestly, guys, I really do appreciate it. I'm not going to spend on weed. Don't worry. One True Saxon is going to go on updating the show, I should say. So yeah, anything you put in, guys, it's to help the show out. All right. And yes, you could say it helps to keep the lights on. Absolutely. But One True Saxon, thank you so much, man. Honestly, happy 420, and much appreciated, brother. Honestly, thank you so much. It's heart goes out to you, man. Thank you so much. So yeah, Boogosphere, please put in chat if you think it's real, put real. If you think it's fake, put fake. Now we have the new what was it called? I can't think of the name. Analysis into this. Carbon dating, I should say. Please put in your thoughts. Real, fake. Because I'm like, oh yeah, I do have addiction to books, I have to admit. So yeah, what do you think, guys? I think after the analysis done, perfect, right here. This is the radiocarbon analysis report. And it's stating here that it's 12,560 years old. And it says the resin sample. Now, resin, I thought it was supposed to be metal. Okay. And here's the description of what was done to test this carbon dating of the Boogosphere. And like I said, it's 12,560 years old. Yes, I do like a bit of wake and bake. Well, I used to anyway. Mate, yeah, Barry, I would agree with you, man. But I want to believe. But at the same time, is it a real carbon dating? Good point, Spirited Kennedy. I think it's still fake. I still think it's fake. Look, right here, they spelt technology wrong. Technology. It's got a flipping I in it. And you start to notice spelling mistakes in this document. The punctuality is not correct. I don't know who writ this up. Alexander, PhD, senior research scientist, can't even get his spelling right. Look, technology is spelled with an I. Look at that. Doesn't look good, doesn't it, guys? It doesn't look good. Grammar is bad, like my bloody grammar, John. It's terrible. Like this document. Oh, just put a bit bigger for you so you can see. Look. See up there? And I started to notice there's some spelling mistakes and some grammar mistakes. Not a good look. It's, yeah, typos, which you would have thought from a senior researcher, scientist from this credible university, especially a flipping PhD, you would have thought you know how to bloody spell. Hey, Russ, nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. After all of this, I still think it's fake. I really do. I think this is just put out there to push the boogosphere. Why isn't it started flying again? Why have we just got that footage of it flying around, which could possibly be on a drone? I think there was one footage where you can actually see like a fishing line in one of the very small shots. Hey, Sophia, oh, thank you so much. Oh, Sophia, oh, much appreciated. Thank you. Oh, yeah, fun. My book collection. Yeah. In fact, that book's supposed to come actually. Hopefully next week. But yeah, honestly, oh, thank you so much. I don't know what to say half the time. Honestly, I could. Hold on. Where are you two? Where are you two? Thank you, Sophia, and One True Saxon as well. It'll go for a good cause, and then when we buy these books, we could do a bit of a deep dive on it. You know. Especially like Umo and stuff like that. So we'll see. But yeah, Sophia, thank you so much. It's much appreciated. It really is. Thank you. So Boogosphere, after all the analysis done, I still believe it is fake and gay. Unfortunately, yes. We are dealing with Heine Musan. Sorry, I should put a bit bigger, Sophia. Thank you, Sophia. Much appreciated, darling. Thank you. And yeah, hopefully we're gonna get like a fan meeting together at some point. I'll think about it. But yeah, remember, we're dealing with Heine Musan here. Heine Musan has been caught many times faking UFO sightings. And for that, it's like the way I'll just describe it. It's like a relationship. Once you've been in a relationship for so long period of time, and then the husband cheats on you, and then you go, or even like the woman as well, after like the 10th time, and then they say, "Oh no, please, I love you. No, I'll never cheat again." I'm like, "Oh, please." You know, you just lose trust in them because they keep lying all the time. You know what I mean? So this is the thing with the boogosphere. I find it very, very hard to believe, even with this results of it being 12,500 years old from this prestigious university. I can't remember it. What does it say on here? No, it just says senior research scientist. Well, I'm sorry, I can't bloody put punctuations properly. Don't look good. It just doesn't help the case. That's what I'm trying to say. We're going to get to that in a minute. Oh, here he is.
Duela o no duela, guste o no
Whether you like it or
guste,
not, that is what it is.
¿no? Si
I've proven otherwise. Jesse Michaels tells me he would like to analyze it. Well, a scientist would have to come here. Oh, stop that. I'm not going to read that. Anyway, bad enough reading that as it is. So yeah, still to this day, I still think the boogosphere is weird. Sorry, fake and gay. But this is weird. This is what I'm trying to say. Remember the Manchester UFO sighting? Well, this... Yeah, did they say it was a balloon? I think that's Mick West's sort of explanation, isn't it? Yeah. But that was going back last year. Strange, isn't it? I'll have to admit, it's definitely a strange photograph, I have to admit. But I wish it would have caught the thing landing. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I thought that was quite interesting, that one. It's still a mystery to this day. Just let me go through chat for a minute. Yeah, mate. Jamie, it's very, very hard to believe. Like I said, I've known Heine for since I was a kid, and I remember the documentary I showed guys. It was like a couple of months ago where my live stream actually got taken down because I was showing a documentary about Heine Massan, and he had someone with him. I think it was like a relative who had this photograph of a flying saucer, and I think MUFON came on to the investigation actually and analyzed the photograph, and it turned out it was fake because it had the black square where the flying saucer was. And when Heine actually was interviewed, he got really defensive. No, see, big way, not Daco, sorry, I've been racist, but that's how it sounds like. But it's just been caught over and over again. It's got a backtrack record, and it doesn't look good, So I think this whole boogosphere is it's just fake, man. Very, very hard to believe when you've got Heine in charge with this.
September, a meteor crashed. Where
right? Okay, let's do this because there's one thing I didn't really want to talk about, and that is this sentient being in Panama, right? Right. Okay. Let's just go through.
September, a meteor crashed in Panama.
Hold on,
this TikToker, Kin Panama, documented this. First off, I want to say thanks to Kin for giving us the opportunity to see this firsthand and documenting it so clearly. This man has a well-standing profile. He posts about normal things for years, and all of a sudden starts posting this footage. I don't have any reason to believe it's AI. What started to grow off of this meteor
is weird.
Had life reactions to it, or has life reactions to
it. In terms of the evolution of this sentient being, as one would say, I do find it quite interesting. I hold off for the moment because I wasn't too sure where this was going, but I'm going to give my conclusion in a minute. But let's just check out the footage.
It moves. It's not feeding off anything. It's not getting air. He's kept it in the dark for the most part. He has put it out in the sun. Doesn't seem to affect it.
Mate.
The crash site here is what's really got my attention. It glows phosphorescently or luminescent.
It's like a potato. It's silver
around the site, which is interesting.
Hey, how's it going, Sensei? Nice to see you. Welcome on in.
Stuff out of Mexico.
I hope it's fake. Yeah,
it's not something that's common in our world, so it's very interesting to see it in this fashion.
Like a crater
with no blacklight stimulation whatsoever. I would be curious to see what a blacklight would do to this area for sure.
Yeah, we'll get to that, mate.
As he continued, every day posting the progress of what this thing's doing, he's posted, dozens of videos. I think there's close to 20 videos of this. I'm posting some here to bring awareness to
Why would you touch it?
To try to get people to go to TikTok and follow this man to keep up with this.
Exactly.
A lot of people reached out to him and asked for, biological samples so they could put it into the lab and see what the heck we're dealing with. The curiosity is very high on this. However, I feel that the danger is also very high if that's the case. He thought it was a plant to begin with. And here we are, as it continues to grow and he continues to post it, they're starting to call it venom. It looks like a black something,
Venom. Please.
Black goo of some form, but it's got...
Also, I've been watching the X-Files, by the way. We're on season 6 going into season... Oh, my God. Season 7... Black goo's in it. It's a sentient being. It goes in and it turns... It's what the super soldiers have. So it's nothing new.
Definite life form. It moves and it was just staying on the meteor and flexing its little tentacles and things of that nature for many days. He started to take samples for scientists. He had the bravery to go in and start cutting these things and creating these samples in these jars, which seem to still have life form. They could be like clones. They may regrow or regenerate. The fact that it's not
odd,
eating
I have to
and
admit.
provides such a life form is very interesting. You know, when the meteor came out, before anything was growing off of it, he had a plant on his desk and it literally killed the leaf that it touched, and or that it was close
Proof
to.
of it?
And so he did multiple other tests and showed us that this thing just literally will eat the biological material and burn it up. So as you can see, this thing continues to grow, and this is after he's taken samples off of it.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. Look, if that was an alien sentient being, the fucking army would be on his ass. Yeah, do you understand what I mean? There will be some repercussions of this technically alien life form. The army would be on him like that. But we are dealing with TikTok here, and my God, the twat waffles on TikTok would do anything for attention. Anything. Go figure. 2025. Have a little look for yourself.
Quite bizarre. I really am speechless.
Look, I have to admit, the thing looks bloody odd. This is what I mean. As it got progressively bigger, and it sticks in a flipping microwave and all that. But we'll carry on. We'll carry on.
However, doing the work that I do, I know there's a lot of disclosure
could be a fungus.
issues.
Could well be.
You can see it with our congressional hearings. You can see it with the Nazca mummies finally making it to certain mainstream profiles like Jesse Michaels and Joe Rogan. People are starting to take the Nazca mummies more seriously. I don't know how to even take this. The fact he's touching this with his hand here, it creeps me out, to be honest. I mean, this needs to be
okay.
This needs to be in a
okay. Let's fast forward, guys. Hold on, because you can see it as it progressively
gamma rays, electromagnetic.
It's just weird how it moves. And look, to say that someone can make this as a prosthetic, I think it can be done. I think so.
Whatever this thing's producing that killed the plants could be feeding the life form here. I'll be anxious to see what the scientists come up with that he's shipping it to. I pray for all of their safety. I pray for our safety on this, as it could be an invasive species that we are unaware of. And he may have just cloned it dozens off of there and giving us the opportunity, whatever you want to call these flying orbs and different things over the White House, over assassination attempts, all over the place. China, Russia, Bolivia, Colombia. I see it everywhere. Mexico for sure. You know, and obviously we see depictions of a lot of this stuff on the pieces from Mexico. Not this specifically, though. This one here definitely takes the cake. And I'll keep up on it as well, because there's not really any Instagram coverage of it. And we'll go from there. Say a prayer for this man and for us as a society, because this thing looks like the real deal. Till next time.
Yeah, that's a good point you made there, Barry. I remember in Star Wars, the new, well, oh God, what is it called? I can't believe I forgot it. I'm a massive Star Wars fan. Well, I used to be. The Force Awakens, when Rey, she makes this bread, and it's like prosthetic. They added two chemicals together, and it inflates. It's just like there was a scene in there where she makes bread, and it literally inflates, and it looks like bread, and it happens in an instant like that. Kind of reminds me of that. So to say that this can't be faked, and then he goes ahead and chucks it in water. Sorry. Oh my God, this is hilarious. Oh my God. Okay, here it is. He's having a little bit of a dip. Pass the soap, love. Jesus. Oh my God, that's fake as fuck, man. Oh, guys, come on. Look at that. Crew. Free Willy. Could be Thor's fingers. Yeah, okay. But this is the kicker. This is the kicker, guys. Right, you ready? So the guy who's basically uploading
September, a
the
meteor.
videos of this, he is now, that's his profile picture on TikTok. Dare I say more? Yeah, I think I've seen enough here. The new profile picture of the guy who has the alien in Panama. That says it all. This whole thing, once again, it's a TikTok trend. Oh, look at that! You even got pretty much. It's venom. This is the problem with kind of harking back to who was the guy who said about the internet, how it sort of changes his life. In one way, if you're making money off this, grifting, it can change your life for sure. But you need to understand how trends work. TikTok is a massive platform. The amount of people that say to me, Nick, you need to get on TikTok. You want to get the subscribers up on Alien Addict. You need to go on TikTok and because apparently you get thousands of views. Apparently, I don't really go on there, which I'll show you one video in a minute. Yes, Paul, 50 minutes of fame. Same with the women now, the pregnant women taking the Trentanol stuff because they just hate Trump and they're like, oh, I'm going to do the exact opposite. But they just so happen to have to film themselves on TikTok. And this is the people that got, we're doing the Charlie Kirk, they were celebrating his death. It just takes one person to put out a video and it trends big time. And that's like, it gives other people permission to go, oh, I can do the same as well because of the trend. Well, actually, you end up losing your job because you're a fucking dick and have no morals. I mean, it really shows you how pure evil my generation are. Fucking hate my generation. Can't stand it. Sorry, I'm going to go. But you see how trends work, okay? It's same with the Boogosphere. Same with this. It's the same with the Trentanol and the same with the Charlie Kirk celebration death on TikTok. It's a fucking trend. This is ufology. It's a trend. It's whatever is going to get the most clicks and likes. It's like scratching the dopamine itch, isn't it? It's that 5 minutes of fame. It's like, what the hell did that do to you? Like, I'm going to tell you like an old personal story. Even the bloody company says don't take it. But these pregnant women are like, oh, I hate Trump, so I'm going to do the exact opposite. But you just have to film yourself smiling and all that. Well, good luck to your baby anyway. It really is sad times we're living in. But with ufology, it works with trends. This is the thing. We need to be very, very careful what information we're coming out. And just this guy right here putting that out, I'm sorry, this whole Panama thing is fake as fuck. Same as the Boogosphere, fake as fuck. It's people riding, exactly. People, I mean, I've, in terms of like short attention spans, this is TikTok. It's like 10-second TikTok videos you're dealing with here. But I just have to be honest with my conclusion on this. I've been in ufology for a long period of time, since I was a kid. You start to know the trends. You start to understand how trends work and how this will get... This next year, no one will know about this. This will be gone, basically. Same with the drone situation. That will be gone until next year, until another thing flies over an airport and shuts it down. So be very careful what information that's coming across. So some people believe that this is real, but the people that think this is real are new to ufology. It's not a bad thing that you're new to ufology. Is that the fact that you need to have a realistic perspective of what you're observing around here. When you've got a woman saying, I can cure your cancer by sending you up to the Galactic Federations into a med bed, but you've got to give me £5,000 to do it, which is just basically a flipping WhatsApp call. You know, that's grifting, you know, but you get people like that in ufology. You've got to be really careful on what people are coming across in this field. It's a business, entertainment, and it's totally script and theater. Ufology is a blank page of people imagining the script and something will hit the bullseye. Yes, very, very good point. At the moment, it's like this. We're so close to disclosure. It's like, no, we're not. We're like far behind disclosure. We are never going to get disclosure. This is the thing, is that if we can't get the truth about the JFK files, 9/11, even the Epstein files, JFK files, the case files have come out, but hasn't really proven anything, except for the CIA involved, but we all know that anyway. It just goes to show, why are they going to tell us about aliens? This is it. It's like, that's such a bloody big deal. Why would the US government come forward, even having these congressional hearings, to give disclosure? Why? Why do we need disclosure? What for? What is the purpose? You know, people now have a very short. Who said to me on a podcast? I think it was Lee from the Daily Conspiracy podcast. He said to me that the mainstream media. We'll come back to it in a minute. The mainstream media is putting out UFO stories. They're trying to make the people believe in UFOs. And I said, to be honest with you, it's not really working, Lee. And he says the exact opposite. And I said, well, who's finding this information? Who is pushing the UFO narrative out there? Who's pushing the trend? Is our community. Our community is like 2% out of the population. It's so tiny. Me and you, people in chat, every day our lives are about UFOs. Being a content creator, every single day, it's always about UFOs. Every single day of my life. Because I'm a content creator, I need to find information to bring to you guys. So my life is dominated by UFOs. But we think it's a real big deal. But I speak to a lot of normal people in my boot camp, at the gym, and they ask me, oh, what do you do for, in your pastime? I said, well, I've got a UFO channel on YouTube talking about aliens and UFOs. And just people don't know. People don't care. Aliens, oh, yeah, no, I don't really believe in that sort of stuff. So the idea that they're trying to make the public believe in UFOs, I don't think it's working. They're too distracted by technology, gadgets, and gizmos. That's what it is. This is the part of ufology. Where was I going with that? I can't remember. I was going with something. Yeah, going to bring it up, Ross. I've got it linked up here. Who did not see that coming? Oh my god, even I knew that was coming. But anyway, let's bring it back up. I've got a few more things to show on X itself. But this is a clear example. The guy is just running the trend. And the people that are pushing it is the UFO community. So they're actually doing him a massive favor, even though he's got 4.4 million likes and 500,000 subscribers. Is it followers on TikTok? I don't know. It's a bloody cesspool. Yes, we'll get to that in a minute. I've got the video lined up. Do you know what? I love Breeze. He produces, obviously, his AI art. But it just, when I see photographs like this, it kind of puts me in in a good mood. I don't know, like a futuristic mood. Fucking, am I making sense? I know, when I see a picture, like, I got a lot of train, like, paintings around my place. And it just kind of reminds me of, like, what I was talking about in the beginning of the show, like, back in the 1940s or 1920s. It sort of puts me in that sort of time period. And seeing these AI generated. I mean, it's got a few more here actually. We'll get to it in a minute. We'll get to it. And what the fuck is that? Jesus Christ. See what I mean? Anyway, but yeah, Breeze, if you want to see these incredible, well, if you think it's incredible or not, but yeah, I find it absolutely fascinating. Oh, we got here. Ray, mate, you posted something to me. Yes, this right here. This is a French scientist who I believe, and I don't quote me on this one, he believed, so I believed that he died shortly after this photograph was taken. This is actually in France. This is a flying saucer that was built in France, whether or not actually flew or not. It is a flying disc, and it kind of reminds me of the Avrocar, the VZ9 Avrocar from the 1959, which can also be dated back to Germany, which I did believe they actually built flying discs like this in 1941 to 1945, which I've talked about in my German flying saucer, or not flying saucers, or UFOs Part 1. Yeah, I've got that saved, mate. I'll do a brief catch-up on this one. But yeah, I believe that was a French scientist who created this flying saucer. Yeah, but no, I appreciate it, Rory. Sending me links. Yeah, put some good stuff up there. Live light, travel light, spread light, be the light. Be a positive quotation for the day. Absolutely. Drone situation in... Oh, no, that's not drone. This is...
Look at that out there.
Stephen Green Street. You see this, like, check this out. It drips off and it connects to this ball of light. Now that's odd. All right. That's odd, I have to admit. I know I sound a bit of a skepper, but footage like this, and it's from Green Street as well. Did he take this himself? I'm not too sure. That's a big light. Look at that. Just an odd one. Yeah, it's definitely not a satellite. I'm going to show you what a satellite looks like in a minute. But the fact that, look, it drips off and connects to this other ball of light. Isn't that weird? How weird, mate. Okay. Yeah, that's an ambient in there. Drone situation in Copenhagen. I'm going to be talking about that. I could not give a toss about drones. I don't care. But this one's pretty big. Look at that. Good. Look, it's a drone. Like, so it was like it's like an airplane or helicopter. Big fucking deal. But it's China, it's Russia. You don't know that. You don't know that. You're just putting buzzwords out there. You don't know. It could be Lockheed Martin. But it shouldn't be over airspace. You don't know that. You don't know what's happening behind closed doors. But I have to admit, it's a pretty big drone, apparently. Got no volume on that one. So, yeah, there we go. Oh, actually, what I was going to do a follow-up on technology that they had back in the 80s and 90s in terms of drone technology. Man, I've got some stuff in the books that are not on the internet. Even laser propulsion systems. We're going to get into the next show. So, yes, the Germans, my friends, the Germans, they definitely built flying saucers, flying discs, I should say, not having to be real, but yeah, drone situation, I have to admit. Oh, did he? I'm not too sure. I think Mick West debunked it, saying it was actually planes, but apparently it shut down the whole airport. So why did they shut down the airport when you got a flipping plane flying? You know what I mean? But everyone's riding off the trend of drones once again. I'm just like, oh, it's a drone. Who cares? If it's surveillance, it's like, hold on a minute, like phone. You know, if you've got an Alexa or anything you can speak to, even if you live in a flipping smart city, anything smart related, your voice is going to get recorded. It's going to get listened to. So to say it's surveillance, but yeah, I have to admit, it's a big drone. Yeah, that looks like a bum hole with a turd coming out of it. Everything is sus, I have to admit, but who's pushing this trend for the drone stuff? It's UFO community, isn't it? Look at it. But like I said, this looks like a bum hole with a turd come out of it. First thing that came into my mind. Don't judge. I'm not dirty. It's just that it's what it looks like, especially that one there. It's a fucking anus, mate. That's what it is. Disgusting. So yeah, a UFO comes out of someone's bumhole. That's interesting. This is interesting.
Feel free to let me know what you think it is in the comments. Frankly, it has me pretty spooked. Never captured any footage.
A bit of paranormal stuff.
Different.
Now, thermal imaging, I'm a bit sus because it can pick out. For instance, I saw a thermal imaging camera that showed like a bug, but it looked like a fairy. I'm not joking. It was amazing. I never got it saved. Check this out. It's near the car here. Turd UFOs. There you go. See that? Near the car. Yeah, that I do not know. It's definitely got two eyes. Oh. Yeah, I don't know about that. It looks like it's edited. Wait for it. There. Yeah, that bit there. See where it flips? There. Not too sure on that one, guys. It's good. but that little switch, there's a cut. Yeah, you saw it as well, Sophia. One more time. There's definitely a cut. Look. Yeah, there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Yeah, see the shading? Yeah, looking at that now. Okay, I'm 50-50 on that one. Odd, nevertheless. All right, if you are offended by the C word, I don't get road rage, but when someone does stupid stuff, I don't act like this.
The fuck you doing? What are you parking there for? What are you parking there for? What are you parking there for? Fucking idiots. What are you parking there for? You're blocking the road. You fucking arsehole.
I fucking love it. That's the Irish accent.
This fucking cunt here. 77 kilometers an hour in a 100 kilometer zone, you fucking cunt. Drive on, you fucking cunt. Look at the size and the width of the road. You fucking cunt. You can't even do fucking 80 kilometers an hour, you fucking decrepit old cunt. Oh, the fuck. Do you look at this cunt? Look. The country is full of fucking wide open roads and cunt hooks decides to fucking hold up the fucking country. 100 kilometer zone, and look at this cunt. 61 kilometers an hour. 61 kilometers an hour in a 100 kilometer zone. 57 kilometers an hour. Go on! For your vaccination when they decide. Fucking stupid cunt!
All right, like if you want that, you go check it out. Yeah, angry truck driver from Ireland. That is a typical Irish accent. But yeah, that first bit where you blocking the road.
The fuck you doing? What are you parking there for? What are you parking there for? What are you parking there for? Fucking idiots! What are you parking there for? You're blocking the road. You fucking arsehole.
They got that dialect, haven't they? They got that very, very good dialect. But yeah, we do play funny videos, you know, can have a good laugh, you know, but if you're offended by the C word, we use it a lot in England, especially where I live anyway. Oh man, I can so relate. Yeah. Oh, that's something I'm going to be talking about, the Zimbabwe UFO sighting. In fact, I might do that for Hidden Show on Wednesday, if you fancy that, because I can't really think of anything at the moment. Yeah, Zimbabwe, 1994. So tune in on Wednesday. One thing I do love, Sophia, this one's for you. I do love a good sunrise or sunset. Look at that. Hold on, that's fake, isn't it? That's got to be real. It has to be. And stop. Isn't that beautiful? Now that's a 420 moment. Or 429. Beautiful. Look at that sun. Fantastic. Beautiful. Right. Anyway. Yeah, that's from Breeze as well. He produces a lot of this. It's very alangelic. Is that a right word for it? Fuck it, I don't know. What else we got here? Oh yeah, I think I've shown this before on my Cosmic Twilight channel. This statue actually turns. Look at that. Turn it up. So throughout the night, actually. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Look at that. Only when it's sunlight, isn't it? Is that naturally? Can I actually do that by a natural explanation? I don't know. I just thought it was odd. Might be fake and gay. Who knows? Right. What else we got? Right. I've been saying this for a long period of time. If you are a pretty woman and you got a set of tits and you want to be a content creator, use it. Now, boys and men.
Now, fuck me if I'm wrong, but the Earth is flat.
Now, talk about 5 minutes of fame. She is gagging for attention. She has colossal tits, and I mean that nicely. She's all right, I guess, but at the same time, probably want to date her and all that, But again, attention seekers, massive tits, they're huge. But like I said, if you've got a pretty face and you've got massive tits, use it because you will get far on social media. Trust me on that one. There's a she's not flat, yeah, for sure, mate. To be honest with you, I can prove this. I'm a gardener by trade, and I have a lot of petrol equipment, and I service it myself. So change the filter, give it a good clean out. There's a YouTube channel I've been looking at for 15 years. His name's Donny Boy 74. And he's been going, like I said, for like 15, 16 years. And he's only got like 200,000 subscribers. And I remember when he only had like 100 subscribers. So it's been a long period of time. He's got thousands of videos. But there's another YouTube channel that came out just after pandemic. And I think her name's like Chicanic and all that. And basically this woman who does exactly the same of what Donny Boy does, but she's basically a MILF. She doesn't show it off. She doesn't show her tits off and all that. But it just goes to show if you're a good-looking woman, you will make it on YouTube. Trust me on that one. You got nothing to worry about. So it's not forever. This is it, because you got to think that woman's tits right there. Give it until she's 50, 60. Those things will be down to her flipping ankles, mate. Just saying. Yeah, but again, woman like a person like this, I'm sure she's a lovely person. But again, it's the 5 minutes of fame. Is she wrong? I don't know. I was looking at her tits, mate. What can I say? But again, look at that. From Breeze, move away from the tits. And that it's just something about it, something about the artwork. I know it's AI, but it's just something striking about it. It really is. 9/11 stuff. Move away from that. Chris Bledsoe. Jellyfish UFO. Okay, right. I think that's everything. Right. Okay. We're going to move on to something that it's a recap of what yes, I talking about her tits there, I think I imagine. I lost my train of thought then. What was I going to do? I was going to bring up something. Nothing to do with tits. Hold on. Where is it to? Guys, you all heard of third phase of moon. There's a video I wanted to show, but I might just skip it, to be honest with you. And it's a bit like the boogosphere thing. It just... Actually, I got it here. Actually, I'm not going to pull it on, but this is what third phase of moon put out.
Okay, guys, here it is again. I just got home. It's really...
So basically, the video was this guy went into the desert, or actually saw this in the sky. He went to the desert. He picked this thing up.
Collective, so I'm gonna...
Which, honestly, if you look at it, it just looks like a flipping metal dildo.
I tried not to reveal myself in the reflection. I'm going to show you all the markings.
But the guy's playing victim.
So here's this side. And I'm still not touching it with my hand because I think it is dangerous or radioactive or something. It's really smooth. Here's that hexagram. Which, yeah, I agree it doesn't look that good, but I can tell you I didn't make it. Like a triangle in the middle with two lines. And it's essentially the same on this side, but the markings are slightly different, like the words on the side. Let me find that other... No, there it is.
Distraction. It was a distraction. Those tits were a distraction.
Okay, guys. I guess that marks the day I posted on YouTube the full object. So now I'm gonna keep trying to post like every day so I don't disappear, but we all know how these things go, so
No, they don't, mate. No. It's a galactic dildo. Let's all face the facts, yeah.
Just wish for the best for me. And I'll try to do some experiments with this and record it. I'll probably try to open it at some point, but I don't know how to do that right now.
You just got to rub it like that, wank it off.
I also don't want to die if it's radioactive and blows up or something, but
Oh.
anyway, yeah, this is the spinning around.
Oh, it's actually thicker than I thought. Oh, yeah, okay. It's a bit girthy on that one, isn't it?
So you can see it's like just the common pill shape of an object.
Oh my god! This is ridiculously stupid and so fake. No, I'm not going to apologize. I'm sorry. Someone's got to flip and say it. Now, alien technology. Let's go back to the past, guys. The pyramids, Peru. Look at the buildings they built. Absolutely, the stones are so in line, absolutely prestige in line. You know, it's so smooth. You can't put a paper through it. Look at this. Again, this is a very much TikTok trend. People just want their 15 minutes of fame, so they create stuff like the Boogosphere and the Metal Dildo Galactic. I'm going to call this the Metal Galactic Dildo. Sod it. I can't, man. This is just ridiculous, and someone's got to call it out. This is absolutely fake and gay. I'm just welcome to ufology. Welcome to ufology. If you want to see the full video of that, I'm going to put the link in description for Third Phase of Moon. I've got nothing against Third Phase of Moon. Third Phase of Moon, if you're there listening, I've got nothing against you. You're just part of entertainment, mate, you know. And yeah, fair play to you guys. I know I'm going to probably get a lot of shit in chat for that, but yeah. But honestly, guys, you know, it's but it's entertainment. Ufology is part of entertainment, and look at that. I don't want to create enemies, mate, on Alien Addict, you know. But yeah. Okay, let's move on because I'm going to show my video that I caught the other day. Let's go to sorry, guys, 2 seconds. Just got to bring up the channel because there's something I want to show you. Fantastic. Right. Okay. To that. Right. Going back 2 months ago, my last video I uploaded on Alien Addict channel. Now, this is the upload channel, which I'm looking to do more of. UFO sighting UK July 2025. This one right here, plasma orb or ISS. So what I was going through was I saw a ball of light in the sky, and I tracked it through the ISS after the sighting because it was a big ball of light, and I wasn't too convinced it was actually the ISS until a few days ago, where it was a clear blue sky. And what I did, let's switch account to that one now. Hold on a minute. Come out of that. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry, guys. So a couple of days ago, as it was clear blue sky, I thought, I'm just going to go on the app to have a look where the ISS is. And it actually flew over, was scheduled to fly over my place, and actually did. And actually recorded it. Not only I recorded it, but someone else in our chat recorded it. Hold on. Let's where are we to? That. Go into studio. Because I haven't uploaded it. It's unlisted at the moment. I'm going to bring it for you now. Okay, fantastic. This is just about 5 minutes long. And this is what I do, like the trails in the sky and all that, yada, yada, yada. This is my experiment, okay? So it's just about 6 minutes long. And this is my conclusion of the ISS. Right, check this out. So this is going to be an experiment to track the ISS, which is scheduled to literally fly over, bang, right in the middle of where I live. So my previous video that I did on it, put a link on here and the thumbnail so you can see ISS or orb or something like that.
Bigger.
But yeah, look, I'm right pretty much where the dot is, and look how far the ISS is about to fly over. Look in the top corner of your screen on the right-hand side. ISS will cross your skies in less than an hour's time. Fantastic, because it gets dark quite earlier now. So I'm going to keep my eyes to the skies. So where's the ISS at the moment? I think it's over Australia. Yeah, it's
yes,
over
good
Australia. And
point.
it says right in
Very
the
good
corner
point.
there in an hour's
Coons.
time. Yeah, it's going by. Right, interesting, fascinating. I can't wait. So we'll pop back in a bit, and I'm going to show you what the skies are like. Look at this, clear blue sky. I can't wait. This is a perfect opportunity to recap on what I thought was the ISS or plasma orb. And we're going to find out within an hour's time. I can't
We're
wait.
going to find
Very
out, Paul.
excited. So there we go. Clear blue skies.
It's me.
Bit exciting, isn't it? Another
And I'm wearing a
experiment.
vest.
So this is supposed to fly over quite close, actually. I mean, it should fly right over where I am at the moment. So I'm going to show you where the direction of the ISS is going to fly over, and it's going to see whether or not it looks like the same object as what I caught.
How dare you, Bob? This is
Bear in
who
mind,
you're
I'm
going
going
to
to be using this phone camera and not my digital camera that I've been using, because I think I'm going to get a better quality with this. But nevertheless, let's keep our eyes to the skies. So technically, it should fly from here over or right ahead. So time will tell. I'm very excited. But yeah, look at the sky. It's crystal clear. It's fantastic. So yeah, we'll see what happens in a very short time. Right, we are near the time. I think I have to look towards north direction.
I look very 90s.
Which is basically where the aurora appears. So it should go in a straight line across the sky. Well, yeah, duh. Idiot. Right, give it another minute, apparently. I should be able to see it. Got it. There it is.
Is this fake, Bob?
Perfect.
Is this fake for you?
Here it is. Zoom all the way in. My friends,
it's a big, bright
what we are seeing here is the ISS.
It looks bright. Honestly, I no spoiler, but I contacted Sheepopop, and I said, I think she lives further along. She's in some. I'm not going to give a location, but I said, look, go check. I think the ISS is about to fly over your location. Could you film it for me? And eventually, she did. So you're going to see in a minute. Sorry, I'm not doxing you,
using my
Sheepopop.
camera phone and not my camcorder. In fact, I might do that in a minute. But yeah, here it is. It's like a big, bright star in the sky. Look at that. Just going to zoom out a little bit.
It was bright, though. I have to admit, it was really bright.
Right, see that? Yeah, you can see it. I can still see it. Beautiful. All right, yeah. Well, I'm going to be honest. I think what I saw last time.
It's a dot. Look, I'm going to.
I'll tell you what.
It was actually really bright, though. This is it. Someone that's new to sky watching would see that and be like, "Oh my god!" Like, it literally, even like Sheepopop would say, like, it looked really striking. Like, you'd be like, "What the hell is that?" But until you just track the ISS, because obviously it's in low orbit, it will shine brighter. But yeah, it's essentially a dot in the sky.
Right, that's what it looks like. All right. Oh, just in time. Right, I got my camcorder out.
Right, so what we hear, that's my one I uploaded in July, and this is me using my camcorder that I filmed this. It struggled to focus.
Let's see if it's exactly the same as last time. It's gone out of focus,
yeah, it's essentially a dot in the sky. Sky potato.
Yeah. Okay, it's going out of focus. What is it?
It's a learning curve, mate.
Right, there it is on my camcorder, like that.
It's a learning curve.
Right, going to catch it before it goes.
People will
Here it is,
misidentify stuff.
The
for
ISS.
Sure.
Bang on
That's
schedule.
Sheepopop's footage there.
I can categorically confirm that what we are seeing here is the International Space Station.
What's interesting about Sheepopop's footage, it looked like it actually moves. Look, ready?
I can
Wait for
categorically
it.
confirm that what we are seeing here is the International Space Station.
Hold on, let's go back again. Sorry.
Here it is.
It's a part where it looks like it moves. There you go, see? But it's just a camera.
It's quite bright, actually, isn't it? Yeah.
You see how bright it is in the sky, and it wasn't
in all
necessarily
honesty,
dark, as you can see in the camera, though.
Identify that as a UFO. If it dotted.
Right, see that? It looks like it moved to the right. It's just a camera effect, guys. It's just a camera, because I was just moving the camera. It was not on a tripod. It was me holding it.
I mean, in all honesty, anyone can misidentify that as a UFO. If it darted off to the right
Me?
or left, we know it's a UFO.
Yeah, it was bright,
You
mate.
know, I
Super
should see
bright.
it.
You can see it in the
There we
camera
go,
there.
just to show that I'm not bullshitting you. Right.
That's stabilization.
bit,
Ah,
isn't it?
right.
Dart
Okay,
off to
Paul.
the
Fair
left or
enough,
right.
mate.
Probably not, actually.
Okay,
There we
that
go,
makes sense.
guys. So, have I debunked my alleged UFO sighting?
Dr.
I
Nick.
could honestly say that I think I might have. Because if I remember rightly,
Oh, don't worry, mate.
last
Don't worry.
time
I got
it
thick
flew
skin,
over here,
even though I get triggered.
and it was way over to the west. I remember last time it flew over here, and here's the screenshot of it,
Yeah, that's a previous one.
and how far west it was. And now, from this, it actually came from this direction, straight over.
There we go. So that was my conclusion for the ISS. I've been doing a lot of sky watching recently, and I've been seeing a lot of balls of light in the sky. I don't know if Sophia, I don't know if you've been doing a lot of sky watching. You can see like a lot of balls of light. Yeah, I've been tracking the ISS just confirmed. Actually, no, I debunked the science side of it. Which I can probably show what the video is. But yeah, so that is what the ISS actually looks like. I saw it coming in the tracker, and I contacted Sheepopop, and we both filmed the same thing. Okay, and it flew over bang on schedule where it said it would be. So there's no AI stuff in that, you know. So I think what I can categorically say, that big ball of light is the ISS. No bullshit. Cosmic Twilight. Let's bring up. So people that are new in chat, I have a secondary channel that I do that word there. I hope I didn't say it. Which I have done 36 parts. And what I do is that every time we see trails in the sky, I film the trails. I also got a time-lapse camera that films the sky 24/7, which has been running since the beginning of the year. Well, I've been doing time-lapse cameras, time-lapse footage for about 4 years now. And so every time I see trails in the morning, I wake up around about 6 o'clock. If I see trails in the sky, I film the trails. I track the airplanes that are doing the spraying, so-called spraying. I see how many trails are in the sky, how persistent they are. Do they actually spread out and block out the sun, as we review the time lapse and review the satellite, amongst other things? And I've done 36 parts of it. The 36th part, I've actually debunked the science side, because the science side, I'm not going to go into it in detail, but basically what they're saying, those trails in the sky are being persisted, which we know as chems. They're saying it's all to do with humidity. If you've got pockets of humidity that is around about 70 to 90%, and the plane flies through that, the trail will persist. Well, on that specific day, on this one here, Science Debunked, part 36, the percentage was 30 to 40%. But we're still having trails in the sky. You can see it in that video. It was all over the place. And I came to the part, I was like, I don't know whether or not actually blocked out the sun or not, because there were so many trails that were spreading out. So I had an argument with Grok and ChatGPT saying, they were saying, no, the thing is you need the humidity needs to be about 70%. I said, well, it wasn't. It was actually 30%. So why are the trails spreader now? And ChatGPT says, well, this might be taken into factor, like the pressure, the altitude. I'm like, well, I'm tracking the humidity and I'm tracking the altitude, and I was literally having an argument with it. And so in one way, what the science was saying, what makes these trails in the sky, I've actually debunked it. So it was an interesting one. So if you're interested in chems and have a realistic perspective on what's going on in the sky, go check out the Cosmic Twilight, which is my channel, which I upload pretty much like once a week or even twice a week. Talking about just like this is what I show. Look, this is my time-lapse camera, which films the sky in beautiful 4K footage. But 4K footage. And I put some nice music to it. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's just 420, out of chill. Beautiful, isn't it? I know I've been really into like sky watching and like clouds past year. Yeah. Oh, hey, Bug, nice to see you. Welcome on in. Nice to see you. Yeah, I saw you put a comment in one of my shorts. And yeah, you were in Sophia's chat. That was it. Yeah, nice to see you. Welcome on in. So yeah, that's what I do, guys. I film the skies. I track the trails, but I also get to capture this beautiful 4K, even 8K footage of the clouds and what they do. And yeah, I just find it quite striking. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, if you want to go check that out, the Cosmic Twilight. In fact, I'm going to put that in chat right now, so you can watch to your heart's content. And again, I'm not denying chems. I just add a realistic perspective. And basically what I'm seeing in the sky. So I think, one more thing before we finish. Someone did mention about Dylan Borland. I'm just going to bring it up now, actually. Okay, which one's that one? Right. Northerner, nice to see you, man. Welcome on in. Did she? Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, well, welcome on in. We're just going to play one more footage of this. What's his name? Dylan Borland. Yes, he was in the congressional hearings that happened back in September. And we're going to go through what he says, what he witnessed, okay? And see what he says, what he saw coming out of a NASA hangar. Sorry, got wicked dry mouth. Sorry, 2 seconds. And what's need to be taken consideration is, why did Dylan come forward? He says what he saw was unusual. He did talk about it to his comrades and even to the officials, and then eventually he was demonized. I know he had his pension taken away from him. And the one way why he came forward, purely because he was sort of scared for his career. He says, look, I've got no career after this because I've been talking about this sort of stuff. So why did he come out in congressional hearings in the first place? Is the other thing. You know, if he wants to protect his career as a whistleblower. Now, these so-called whistleblowers are not really whistleblowers because they haven't really brought any evidence. I always thought a whistleblower would actually produce evidence to bring forward. So in one way, these are just testimonies. Now, these are like the congressional hearings were saying that these are stories that we heard before. But what Russ is saying here, as I'm listening to Weaponized, he sounds very credible in my eyes. I know people are very skeptical because we're dealing with Weaponized here. George Knapp and Jerry Corbell. Fine, but I'm a bit lighthearted with George Knapp because he has done his research, guys. He's been in the field for a long period of time, and I know he put out the Bob Lazar story, even though I'm a bit with Bob. Sorry, Bob, if you're in chat, I'm a bit like just a bit not too sure about it. But nevertheless, he's a solid researcher, but whether or not he's going to get the truth out to anything, that's just my opinion on that one. Yes, Bob, you're there. So anyway, nevertheless, let's just listen to the testimony of what Dylan Borland said, what he witnessed coming out of NASA hangar, which is quite interesting, really. Let's do this.
Decrepit barracks. So I go in the gazebo and I'm sitting there and I'm smoking a cigarette. I'm on the phone with my buddy, who we've talked about.
Did he come forward due to Jeremy Corbell? Was he part of the club? Jeremy Corbell saw Dylan and be like, yeah, you must come onto the congressional hearings, give your testimony, and we'll get you on the podcast. Also, Dylan came on to a space, which is a Twitter space, before the show came out. And in one way, he did it just to promote the channel and promote the episode he was on. This is it. You know, what's his true game? So I'm holding back for the moment, but it does sound credible, I have to admit.
And I'm looking at the flight line because that's where the entry point is to the gazebo. And the entry point where you walk in faces the flight line and faces the NASA hangar behind it. So from where I'm sitting, it's 4 blocks up, the JAG office, the gym, the flight line, the NASA hangar.
Oh, really?
On my phone, smoking a cigarette, and I see a white light pop up from the NASA hangar. Comes up about 100 feet and stops. I know it was the NASA hangar because I have
redacted
at 1:32 in the morning on a weeknight. It was a Tuesday, Wednesday night. I am positive it came from there because I've
redacted.
And in my mind, I think, oh, weather balloon test. You're testing some.
Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm using Brave next time.
Redacted.
Redacted.
No big deal. So this white light pops up and stops 100 feet. I light my cigarette. I finish my cigarettes about 6-7 minutes after. That's about how long it takes to smoke a cigarette. And I start walking towards the flight line because I'm on call. I have to go back to the ops floor if the weather clears. And at night,
yeah, they're redacting the names. So are they going to get the flipping truth from Jeremy Corbell here, isn't it?
Would walk the track because I have to stay awake. I never rotated to days. I listen to music or podcasts, whatever, and just walk the track, not get hassled, stay out of the road. I start walking up to where this light is hovering above the NASA hangar. And I get about 2-3 blocks in, and on the right is the auto body shop. So they had garages at Langley Air Force Base where you could pull your car in and pull the drain plugs and oil changes, all that. As I'm walking up towards the light to go to the track on my left, the white light flies across the flight line to me, and it flies right across the flight line to me. And as it flies, it's 100 to 150 foot equilateral triangle appears right over me, 100 feet above me, 100 feet in front of me.
Listening to many witness testimonies, I get the gist of who's lying and who's telling the truth. Just gonna be honest, I might be wrong on that one, but I have to admit Dylan does sound credible. He definitely did witness something, I have to admit. Even the congressional hearings, I could tell he was quite nervous. Obviously, he's being on national television, which is a pretty big deal. But for me personally, I know he's on weaponized and a lot of stigma in ufology in terms of this YouTube channel, especially these two people here. But for me, he just sound credible. I have to admit that he's not lying. Might be wrong.
The triangle had black metallic flake paint. I'm a car guy, and it looked like that expensive, like classic look. Like you could see the light glisten off of it.
He still looks like a garden
equilateral triangle. I could only see the bottom in angles. It was a 90-degree right angle all around. I could not see the top of it. There were 4 lights. One smaller light on each corner, and then a larger second light, which was 2 to 3 times the size of the corner lights. And in my estimation, it was about the size of a small size sedan. So like a Nissan SER Sentra, Nissan Altima. That was at the center. All of them were white. What was odd though is that when I'm looking at it, the way I tried to describe it, and words cannot describe it because it's so wild seeing, is imagine taking a picture of the James Webb Telescope where all those colors of galaxies are out there. Imagine those colors, make them yellow, gold, put them on top of the aircraft and make it a lava lamp.
That's interesting, Russ. That's something that's new to me, mate. All right. Yeah, I reckon Lockheed Martin, that's on the cards now, especially when it came to the congressional hearings. They definitely got something they're not telling us, 100%. In fact, next week's show, I might do a sort of recap on like old technology that no one's talking about, like laser propulsion systems and stuff like that. So I'm trying to, and this is to do with NASA as well. I've got it in one of my books. It's right down on the bottom here. But we'll pick up on next week's show because it kind of sounds familiar to what NASA was testing back in the 90s.
Because the whole outside had this yellow transparent glow
Triangle.
coming all around the craft, and it was pulsating. So this thing flies to me, it's a light. All of a sudden, while it's flying to me, this triangle appears. I can't tell you if it was active camouflage. I cannot tell you if it manifested around it. The only thing I can tell you is that light came and a triangle appeared around it. My cell phone...
Again, the triangle theme seems to be a lot in it for ufology. It really does.
It's incredibly hot and completely freezes and shuts down. I'm under it, and the first thought in my mind is literally, okay, so this is real too. Like, I've been in
redacted.
I've had access to things, and I'm like, okay, another thing that's real.
Hours, meaning hours.
I would initially suspect so. I mean, it was on the base, due to things that I found out, having been in government for long enough and knowing certain truths and having been through the whistleblower process and understanding questions and why they're asked and how they're asked.
If there's one thing when you're nervous, I always say, Sophia, and I noticed this, to be honest with you, I keep saying it. So when he says like literally, it's like a common theme with his the way he speaks. Sometimes he might be nervous. He's not very good at explaining stuff. So people say basically, well, basically this happened and basically that. So people use these words if they're like, for me, I'm like kind of like self-conscious. So I'm just like, I use those words without even thinking of it, you know? So that's his word, literally.
I am now of the opinion that what I saw was not ours, but this gets into a troubling precedent, which is if that one wasn't ours, then why?
Redacted.
In a moment, Todd's mom will read her son's internet browsing history. What? ExpressVPN apps keep your activity.
I'm really sorry, guys. This is it. I swear to God, right now, I'm going to put in Brave and I'm going to download that because, yeah, I'm really sorry, guys, because the adverts are pissing me off.
I'm under it. It's probably in front of me 3-5 minutes, and I'm just looking at it. There is no sound. There is nothing. It is just hovering there, and it's just pulsating above me, right above the JAG office and the gym.
Did it seem to be reacting to you because you'd seen it, or?
I don't know. You know, that is one of the questions, one of many questions that I have as a quote-unquote experiencer, as a whistleblower, as a veteran, as somebody who has been in close proximity to these, as somebody who has had their life destroyed over this. That is one of the questions I would love to know, because it's one of the things that keeps me up at night, which is why did it fly across the base to me?
Yeah. Interesting story. I'm going to put a link in description. Right, actually, I'm going to put it in chat right now to Weaponized. Yes, I do watch Weaponized if they've got anything good to put forward. And I thought, look, I'm going to give Dylan at least a chance here to sort of bring forward his story in detail. In terms of what NASA has got, what Lockheed Martin have got, they're all like military contractors, they're all connected together to a certain degree, according to what Russ was saying. The aspect of what technology is being used, this is it. I think it's so far beyond comprehension. I'm going to show you one quick video right now that was sent to me that I believe is just old technology, and it's this. Check this out.
Blow your mind. This is going to blow your mind. Lockheed Martin has invented a technology for planes that allows the plane to literally change shape, grow, change color, charge itself without any wires, and also potentially fly autonomously, which for us sounds a lot like what we perceive to be UFOs. They've developed a technology called the skin of an aircraft, and it's not like your traditional paint job that's a protective layer over the plane. This acts like a living organism, and it can literally allow the plane to change shape on demand. It's more of a muscular material. So what happens is the plane has an intuitive ability to sense when the plane needs to change shape. So imagine it'd be like if if you had a couch that sensed that you needed a nap, and so it changed into a recliner. This is all possible because of the plane's advanced sensors and data flow that are built into the skin using no wires. It is because of this advanced technology that the plane is also able to change color in seconds and also potentially fly autonomously. They believe these planes will fly in packs and are smart enough to communicate and learn from each other while mid-flight. So next time you're out and you think you're seeing UFOs, you might just be seeing Lockheed Martin testing out this new technology. Also, if they're announcing this technology to the public, it makes you wonder what type of technology is out there being used by the government right now. This is going to...
Right, first things first, okay? This is old technology. Whatever Lockheed Martin is putting out must be old. It's like the iPhone, our smartphones. This was all military technology that goes back for decades. This is nothing new. And I reckon what they're putting out there, cloaking, self-charging, amongst the other things, it's what the military has is far beyond our comprehension. This is old technology, probably from the 80s and 90s. You know, you rarely even hear what technology they were developing in the 90s. It's all about now. Oh, this is new stuff. I don't think so. HD TVs, trace them back to the 60s. iPhones, these sort of phones, trace them back to the military decades ago. These drones that we're seeing in the sky, you can trace it back to the 90s. It's nothing new, guys. It literally is nothing new. So when we have videos like that about it sounds really advanced, like alien technology. I don't know. How do we reverse engineer alien technology? This is it. How do we know that? It's basically going off the whim here. It's just like these talking points of ufology. Oh, it's definitely alien technology, but we don't really know that though. We don't really know that. We don't know what Lockheed Martin got. We don't know what China or Russia's got. It's all speculation here. So that video that I showed you, I reckon it's just old, and the new tech, like Space Cow was saying, is like magic. Did you guys see the video footage from? It was like the Iraq War, and there was this tank, and it was actually on the news, right? You see this tank, and you can see this, looks like invisible outline of a man climbing up this tank. I reckon like it's something like that, like far beyond our comprehension. It's like magic. So that's just my this is the thing, like how this is alien technology. How are we supposed to understand how this works and reverse engineer it, let alone flip and fly it? Because I do believe, in my personal opinion, that these aliens that are flying these craft must be done through the conscious level, in terms of using your brain to control the actual craft itself, and not like handles and mechanisms and stuff like that. So it's that's it. Yeah, interdimensional stuff. I think it's far beyond the comprehension. And I just don't really think we're there yet, really. This is what's confusing with ufology at the moment, is that we're all talking about spiritual interdimensional beings. These plasma orbs are actually spiritual beings. But what about Roswell? What about the Aztec crash? What about the Kecksburg crash in the 60s? You know, what these flying craft from extraterrestrials are crashing down, but we're coming across bodies, alien bodies, but they're spiritual interdimensional beings. It's all a bit like all over the place, really. It really is. It's the cloaking. I mean, that's decades old, man. That's decades old. So yeah, ufology, it's fun. It's an entertainment. It's a business. It's an industry. Just take it with a pinch of salt, guys, and try not to take ufology too seriously, because there's a lot of BS out there. Hence, going back to like a full circle to Valiant Thor. Now looking into it, reading through the book and everything, it just seems like one of those stories that potentially is fake. And that's my personal opinion on that. So, do I have anything else? No, I think that's it. Let's just go through down one more time. No, that's it. Right, okay. So, next week's show, I want to do... I'll either do Foo Fighters, or I'll see. I'm trying to think. Anything you want to talk about, guys? Anything that you want me to go into? I'll feel free to sort of put your opinions out there. Says Nick, want to have a little look at this? There's the Brazilian sighting in the 1980s and all that. On Wednesday, I want to do the 1994 Zimbabwe incident with obviously the kids saw the aliens and all that. So that'll be on Wednesday's show on Hidden Underbelly. So he will notify you on that. On that when it comes to it. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'll probably stick with like Foo Fighters next week. Do a bit of a deep dive on Foo Fighters and see what they actually were, because I do have a book right here. If you want to know, remember Foo Fighters back in World War II that would track Allied aircraft and they would do these fantastic maneuvers. Now, I know Moody would say, oh, that's just the radar system's giving off a plasma orb or a plasma ball, as one would say. But one aspect of Foo Fighters back in World War II was these were devices called Fliegende Schildkröte. That's in German. And these were called Flying Tortoise devices that were created by the Germans to actually down military aircraft back in World War II. And we're going to sort of go into a deep dive into this book, Intercept UFOs by Renato Vesco, which came out in 1968. What about Foo Fighters being potential devices? So, yes. Oh, careful, Nick. Careful. Right. Okay. So, say goodbyes now, guys. Welsh Triangle book. Oh, yes. Do you have the Welsh Triangle book? Hold on. Let's have a look. Like that. The Welsh Triangle. Peter Paget. His name's not Peter Paget. It's actually Philip something. Philip Fisher. And he actually got done for benefit fraud recently. Believe it or not. I think it was actually a few years ago. But yeah, I could do one on that, actually. The Welsh Triangle. I'm actually off to Wales tomorrow. I'm off to Penny Van. Sophia, I'm going to Wales tomorrow. I'm going camping. Hopefully it doesn't bloody rain. But yeah, Welsh Triangle. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, we'll see. I'll keep you all updated on what topic I shall be looking into. So yeah. So come say goodbyes now, everyone, guys. We're going to end the show right there. It's a pleasure as always, and a massive thanks to Sophia and One True Saxon. And One True Saxon, if you're still here, a massive thank you to both of you. It is really much appreciated, and that will go towards a good cause. And when I say good cause, I mean books and publications on the get. Because I think for ufology, I think I need to go back in time to have a look what they were saying back then compared to what it is now, and it's pretty much like the same stuff, really, but I like to have this publications because it's like an archive, and if I'm still here in like 50 years time, touch wood, I want to have a whole library of old UFO books, and I think just want to keep that archive and obviously do deep dives into it, because obviously when I buy these books, I will read through it, and I need to redo the presentation because I get myself in the muddle. I had everything with me, and I just kind of get like all over the place, to be honest with you, with it. So I'll rethink things. I'll probably make it a bit more simpler for me to understand. And yeah, so let's just go through chat. Nick, sell all his books on eBay. Flip it now. I must have spent thousands, mate, honestly, but I love ufology. I do. Even though I kind of sound, I'm not like a skeptic, but I'm a more critical thinker because I'm just so aware of the people and what surrounds ufology and the bullshit. It's a lot of it's bullshit, guys. Look, a lot of bullshit goes along, but there's a lot of half truths and a bit of truths in there. But this is what we do in Alien Addict. We sort of shift through with the nonsense and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's still worth money though, isn't it? But I'm not going to sell them. That's my own personal archive. Yeah, but Russ, nice to see you, man. I know you're new in chat, and yeah, it's much appreciated, brother. We're here every Friday at 9 o'clock. Go through any sort of UFO topics and stuff like that, and yeah, it's nice to see you, man. It's a pleasure as always. John, right, Monday, give us a shout on an email, mate, because you're in different time zones with me. But yeah, absolutely, after lunch, whatever lunchtime is your time in my time, not too sure, but we'll go through the emails and everything. Yes. Yes, Paul. Yeah, you're pretty much spot on there, mate. Yeah, thank you, Russ. Much appreciated. Thank you. So, right, let's go through chat. So, Sheep Hop Up, thank you very much. Spirited Kenny, nice to see you. Pleasure as always. And Woodward, yes. Welsh, yeah, okay. I'll do Welsh Triangle then. All right. Okay, cool. Bob Lazar, pleasure as always. Hopefully my rocket balloon should turn up next week. Fingers crossed. Toaster, pleasure. Sophia, many thanks as always. And John Strokes. And Barry. Science Evidence Fringe. Paul Robinson. I'll go back down again. And Mark G. Pleasure as always. And 12 feet tall. There you go. Never a dull moment. Oh, good. Bloody hell. I try to keep it entertaining for you. One more thing. One more funny video, because this did make me laugh, because this was me trying to fix the shower. Now the pressure valve went in the shower, and I had to replace it, and I had to do it on my own. And I tell you what, this was my typical reaction. A funny video. Check this out. This is me in a nutshell.
Oh, I see. Oh, I got it now. God damn this fucking hellhole. I hate this fucking house. I hate everything about this fucking place. I despise this fucking house, man. Nobody helps me around here. All y'all do is sit around. Shine a light up here if I can see.
That was me. That was me trying to fix the shower. I was like, fuck's sake, fucking thing. I was getting proper triggered over it. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Right. Oh, let's go for it. Yeah, I just thought that was funny. So yeah, pleasure as always, guys. I shall see you next week. I'll see you Wednesday on Hidden Underbelly show, which will be at 9 o'clock, and we'll be talking about the Zimbabwe 1994 encounter. I know a little bit of it, but I want to do a bit of reading and do a bit of preparation, and it should be an interesting show. So that'll be on Wednesday, and catch me next Friday at 9 o'clock on Alien Addict, as we'll be talking about Welsh Triangle amongst other things as well. Current up-to-date ufology, and we'll go through there. So yes, guys, have a good weekend, and yeah, don't do anything that I wouldn't do. I don't know what it'll be. Well, I'm going camping tomorrow. I'm going to enjoy myself. Hopefully the weather should be nice. I love Wales. It's an awesome place. So yes, pleasure as always, guys. And thanks to the people that gave donations, obviously, Sophia and One True Saxon and Space Cow. Did I say goodbye to Space Cow as well? So right, that's it. I shall see you next Friday. And if you do like the show, please like and subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. And yeah, we'll see you next Friday. Right, guys. See you soon. Have a good weekend. God, everyone hates the fish. Leave Hecklefish alone. He's brilliant. Triggered much? All right, guys, have a good weekend. I'll see you soon.